All right, fam, we live.
All right, shit, I fucked it up. Boom, here we go.
I don't hear nothing.
We can't hear it, King.
You can't hear it?
No.
Yeah, we can't hear it, Lo.
Oh shit, I was rocking like a motherfucker. Hold up. Hold up. I know what I did wrong. Boom. Let's see if that work. Can you hear it?
I reference a message from heaven with all that you get and get understanding, overstanding this lesson with all of the bling and the cash that you get and you show for sure. It's the boy you neglecting, the thieves and the liars, they all in your section. I'm bringing my people a different direction. You see what they playing, they steady betraying the culture we making, exploiting and taking. Look at them faking what we are creating. Now you mistaken what's real and what's faking. This ain't what do for the money they making. They sell out their people, their culture, their nation. Sell out their soul for a radio station so they can be playing in heavy rotation. You see what I'm saying? Our culture they taking, but that's not enough. It's our spirit they breaking, and only the culture can see what I'm saying, cause only the culture will see them betraying. You see what they playing, you see what they saying, and you cannot see us. Our people they slaying. Well, maybe you do it, then maybe you don't, and then maybe you will, and then maybe you won't. But it's our community that's losing hope with the greed and the crime, and the police are joking, the TV is playing that okey doke while our people are dying. You seeing them joke with that cheating and lying. You seeking the vote when they telling our people now this is they hope, but did anything change with the last vote? No. The time before that did we pass on? No. All we've been getting is chapter 11 while racists with weapons are shooting our reverence, a message from heaven with all that you get and get understanding, overstanding this lesson with all of the bling and the cash that you get and you showing for sure. It's the boy you neglecting, the thieves and the liars, they all in your section. I'm bringing my people a different direction. You see what
All right. That's it, Unc.
That's it.
Peace, family. How y'all doing, man? It's Sankofa 180 degrees. Jamie at y'all, man. How y'all doing, man? We back at y'all once again. Hey, man. We back, man, on a nice, sunny Sunday, Florida Sunday. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, but
it's banging. It's banging 110 over here today.
Yeah. Rogers out there full effect. It's 92 here. It's 92 here, man. Where is it? What is it at? Where you at, Gerald?
Probably hanging around 100. I don't know here right now, but it's supposed to get around 100 today again.
100 and humid. 100 and humid.
And humid in Houston, yeah, down in Texas.
Hey, yeah, okay. Hey,
Hey,
what about Eric? How about what is it? Where you at, Eric?
Sunny 76.
76.
Oh man, that's nice. That's beautiful weather. That's weather you be outside fishing.
Pleasant.
That's that fishing weather.
Yes, it is.
That's our nighttime weather.
That's that fishing weather right there, man. Woo.
Yeah.
That's what's up. What's up? Hey, welcome, Carrie.
Peace to you, Carrie.
Hi, thank you. And it's 110 here. Thank you.
110. Woo. Yeah, right out there, full effect, baby. Hey, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. Hey, Unc, what you think, man? Hey, Unc got us. Hey, Unc. Hey, I know Unc got a cold joint going, man. Let's let Gerald and Eric introduce themselves, man, and Carrie, and then Unc, you can just roll out. Hey, oh man, wait, hold up, man. What's going on? Okay. Hey, Gerald, yeah, you wanna tell them who you are, man.
Yeah, peace to Sankofa 180 family, brother Gerald out of Houston, Texas. Just a brother always dealing with the concept of know thyself, knowledge of self, understanding that return to the source, Sankofa. I always say go back and get what was lost, go back and fetch what was lost. So I'm all about that. I'm happy to be here with my brothers and the sister on a weekly basis, trying to show by example what it means to try to give out information, show others what it is to try to reconnect and restore who we are and what we have been doing. But again, not just by talk, but by example. So again, happy to be here for the with the panel, and also happy to share any type of information to the audience that's coming to join us. Black Power, Black Love.
RBG, baby.
All day.
Hey, Eric, you want to tell them who you be, man?
All right, thanks, man. Thanks. This is Eric coming to y'all from the Midwest. Product of oh man, a lot of different experiences, but great teachers. Just a student of master teachers. So I'm here to continue to learn and share what I've learned, grow, and that's it, man. Keep sharing, keep building.
That's right. That's right. And
Alright.
Queen Carrie. Yeah,
Hey, this is Carrie, Tucson, Arizona, and you know, I'm learning and finding the truth, and it feels like it makes me a better person, and I feel better within myself, and I love you guys, and I'm glad you're all here, and I appreciate all the work that you guys put into this Sankofa 180, and it sure has helped me, and I know it would help a lot of others if they get on here. So, peace.
Hey, Carrie, what is what's your mantra from setting?
No.
I got you back. I got you back. And bang on that wicked ass beast daily.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, yeah, that's right, Carrie. Thank you too. You know, we appreciate you always. You know, queen of the show right here. Hey, okay. And now, here we go. The man.
Hey, I put together a little baby session today, man. You know, so but we're gonna get into some heavy conversation, no doubt. And so you know, just have your pen and paper ready. If you really want to get some studies, we're gonna watch a quick 7-8 minute video. And then we're gonna jump into a master teacher, Professor James Smalls, and we'll go off some conversation. You know, you guys just cue me up anytime you want to jump in and share some conversation. All right. We'll definitely do it after the first joint, and then in between James Smalls stuff, man, you just cue me up and we'll stop it. Share screen.
Hey, and family, if you want to join, man, please come on and join. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. You are more than welcome. Come on in, build with us. We'd love to have you. You know what I'm saying? You are all welcome. Okay, we're gonna put this in the chat. Oh, make sure put that right there, and then and y'all more than welcome. Like I said, more than welcome. Come on in. All right, fam. All right.
I was gonna drop some Runoko Rashidi on you guys, man, and but that boy had me searching this morning. Let me stop this real quick. Just a second. So this is relative to you know, the kids show, you know, and Jamie, I don't know if you got any of the Black Sands videos, the episodes. Put your mic on.
You said what?
Have you seen any of the Black Sands episodes?
Yeah, I seen all of them, man.
Okay, bet. Hey, there go my brother Dre. What's up, Dre? Oh, he ain't on yet.
He ain't on yet.
Give him a second. I'm so proud of my brother, man.
Hey, can you hear me?
What's up, Dre?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm just shit. I was seeing y'all was on for a minute. I thought I'd get on before I got over here to eat.
Right. You get occupied, huh? Hey, we live, so you know.
Who all on here?
We got Gerald from Houston. We got Eric from the Midwest, Jamie, Carey, and me.
Peace to you, peace to you, peace to you, big bro.
How y'all doing?
All right, man.
Yeah, I was just riding. I seen y'all was on here. I said, let me get on here. I ain't been on here in a grip.
Yeah, man, you've been busy, man. You've been taking care of that business.
What's up, Eric?
Gotta unmute yourself, Eric.
Hello, brother. Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
All right.
Yeah,
Hey, so
what y'all talking about today?
hey, I'm about to show you right now. We're about to do a little stuff on the schools and the history, and then I'm gonna jump into more of our shit, man. So more of the African stuff. So let me jump this off real quick. I'll give you a call in a little bit, Dre, but you know you're more than welcome to stay all day.
I'll stay on for a minute.
Yeah, I already know.
All right, peace.
All right, love you, dude.
Love you too, bro. Peace.
Peace, peace.
They ban Black history in school, and you'll be shocked why. We are going to delve into a topic that might leave you surprised, disappointed, and angry all at once. We're talking about the shocking truth behind the banning of Black history in our school curriculums. So they have banned the schools. Yes, they literally put the future of the students at stake. But why? The reason is more shocking. To understand this, we need to go back in time and examine the roots of this sinister practice from the 19th century to the 20th century. Black history was deliberately suppressed by white leadership to maintain control and power and uphold racist ideologies. As we dig into the historical accounts, we'll begin to see a pattern of violence and discrimination inflicted upon Black communities. Let's start with the Atlanta Massacre of 1906. Atlanta, once a bustling city, became the epicenter of the regional economy, drawing in a significant Black population. However, with this growth came challenges, and white leadership responded by implementing restrictions to control the behavior of the burgeoning Black working class. The social intermingling of the races was frowned upon, leading to an expansion of Jim Crow segregation, further deepening racial tensions. Fast forward to the Rosewood Massacre of 1923 in Florida. The thriving Black community of Rosewood was a haven of prosperity and peace until a horrifying incident of racial violence turned everything upside down. White mobs descended on the town, burning it to the ground and leaving a scar that would last for decades. The true death toll was hidden for years, with white historians largely ignoring the tragedy until much later. But why would anyone want to ban Black history in school? And you'll be shocked to know the real reason behind the removal of the stories of a significant part of our population. Children were literally not allowed to go to schools. It means that they were not allowed to take decisions. Then how are they supposed to enlighten themselves? Let's try to understand. Behind this dark conspiracy, the Springfield race riot of 1908 in Illinois played a crucial role. Here, tensions between Black and white residents escalated, leading to a deadly riot and leaving 6 Black people lynched and hundreds driven out of Springfield. The aftermath of this riot contributed to the formation of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, in 1909, which aimed to fight against racial violence and discrimination. The Slocum Massacre of 1910 in Texas was a brutal event targeted at Blacks, resulting in the deaths of numerous African Americans. The incident remained buried in history until investigative efforts unveiled the horrific details in the 1980s. These are just a few instances of the violence and oppression faced by Black Americans throughout history, and they paint a grim picture of the realities of our Black brothers and sisters and what they have endured. So why isn't this history being taught in our schools? The truth is, the omission of Black history from curriculums was a deliberate act perpetuated by white supremacists who wanted to maintain the status quo of racial segregation and oppression. By erasing these stories from textbooks, they sought to perpetuate a distorted narrative that diminished the contributions and resilience of Black people throughout history. This intentional erasure aimed to reinforce stereotypes and maintain a false sense of superiority among white Americans. It was a means to ensure that Black individuals were seen as lesser, that their voices were silenced, and their achievements were disregarded. Unfortunately, this trend of erasing Black history continues to persist in some parts of our education system. The consequences of this erasure are profound. Black students are deprived of the opportunity to learn about their heritage, culture, and the struggles their ancestors faced and overcame. Conversely, white students are robbed of a comprehensive understanding of American history and the role Black Americans played in shaping our nation. Now let's examine the profound impact this erasure has had on our communities and the urgent need for acknowledgement. The erasure of Black history from school curriculums has left a deep and lasting impact on Black communities. When students are not taught about the struggles, achievements, and contributions of their ancestors, it creates a sense of disconnection and alienation. It reinforces the idea that Black history is somehow separate from American history, when in fact it is an integral part of the fabric that makes up our nation. By failing to acknowledge Black history, we are perpetuating a cycle of ignorance and perpetuating harmful stereotypes. This lack of understanding contributes to the perpetuation of systemic racism and the marginalization of Black individuals in society. It leaves young minds ill-equipped to confront issues of race and discrimination, hindering the progress toward a more inclusive and equitable society. Furthermore, the erasure of Black history denies all students the opportunity to learn about the struggles and resilience of Black Americans in the face of adversity. It prevents them from understanding the historical context of racial disparities and the ongoing fight for civil rights. Without this knowledge, students are ill-equipped to engage in meaningful conversations about race and work toward dismantling the structures of inequality. To make progress, we must confront the uncomfortable truths of our history and ensure that Black history is woven into the fabric of our education system. It is essential to provide students with a comprehensive and accurate portrayal of American history that includes the struggles, achievements, and contributions of Black Americans. Many advocates, educators, and organizations are working tirelessly to promote the inclusion of Black history in our school curriculums. They understand that acknowledging this history is not about assigning blame or guilt, but about recognizing the truth and learning from our past to create a better future. It's time to challenge the status quo and demand change. We must call on policymakers and educational institutions to take action and ensure that Black history is given the prominence it deserves in our classrooms. Implementing inclusive and diverse curriculums that celebrate the diversity of our nation will help break down the barriers of ignorance and create a more tolerant and compassionate society. Across the country, there are educators who are taking it upon themselves to integrate Black history into their curriculums and create a more inclusive learning environment. They understand that by doing so, they are not just teaching history, they are cultivating empathy, understanding, and critical thinking skills in their students. One way educators are incorporating Black history is by using diverse teaching materials, such as books, documentaries, and articles that highlight the experiences of Black Americans. They are moving away from a singular narrative and presenting a more comprehensive and accurate portrayal of American history. Moreover, educators are encouraging open and honest discussions about race and racism in their classrooms. By creating a safe space for dialogue, they empower their students to confront difficult topics, challenge stereotypes, and examine their own biases. These conversations are instrumental in fostering empathy and understanding among young minds. Social media and technology are also playing a vital role in spreading awareness about Black history. Online platforms provide a space for sharing stories, resources, and educational content that can reach a wide audience. By harnessing the power of social media, activists, educators, and individuals alike can amplify the importance of Black history and demand change. So, what can we do as individuals to contribute to this movement and ensure that Black history is given the prominence it deserves? First and foremost, we can educate ourselves. Take the time to learn about Black history beyond what you may have been taught in school. Read books, watch documentaries, and listen to podcasts that tell the stories of Black Americans and their contributions to our society. Knowledge is the first step towards dismantling ignorance. Secondly, we can support organizations and initiatives that are working to promote Black history in schools. Donate to local museums, libraries, or educational programs that prioritize inclusive curriculums and celebrate Black history. Lastly, we must continue to have open and honest conversations about race and racism with our friends, family, and colleagues. Be willing to confront uncomfortable truths and challenge harmful stereotypes by engaging in these discussions. We can create a ripple effect that promotes empathy, understanding, and ultimately positive change. In conclusion, the erasure of Black history in schools is a tragic reality that perpetuates racial inequality and fosters ignorance. It denies Black students the opportunity to see themselves represented in the narrative of their nation's history and perpetuates harmful stereotypes. Acknowledging Black history is not just about acknowledging the pain and suffering endured by Black communities, but also celebrating their triumphs and contributions. Fortunately, there is hope on the horizon. Educators and communities are taking the initiative to promote Black history and create a more inclusive learning environment. By educating ourselves, supporting initiatives, and using our voices and engaging in open conversations, we can all contribute to this crucial movement. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and reflection. If you find this video informative, give it a thumbs up, and please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's continue to learn, grow, and work toward a brighter and more inclusive future.
All right, all right. Yeah, so let me
Unmute yourself,
So that's really relative to what we do, especially on Sankofa First Sundays for the children. And like I was saying earlier, my mom was involved with the schools, abroad, and so she was in the schools, man. And we, as me and Dre both, we was in our children's schools, right? So that's a missing link for today, let alone teaching them at home. We also had the mothers in the community that would check us. Do we got our homework done before we running around the neighborhood and stuff like that, and we had those checkpoints. What we didn't have is the overflow of historical information at our hands, and so that's being left up to the kids. They put the family put the phone in the kids' hands and the games, the PlayStations and all that stuff, and that's what they get with. Unless they got sports or other activities, and so that practice is a lost practice. And then my parents had, just like everybody else's parents had, they was clocking hours too, right? They was getting in that job, right? So there ain't the excuse today that we don't have time to do it and stuff. So what we don't have is the interest, right? And we have become lazy as Black people in that, right? And so. And I bring that up because, the society says, Black people are lazy. And then, our history says we stopped being lazy. I forgot what it was.
is when we quit working for free.
When we quit working for free. That's what's up. That's what's up right there. So, yeah. So, this is really relative, and so I'm gonna open it up if anybody wants to share on that for a minute, and then I'm gonna play James Small's video, and he's gonna capitalize a bit on that as well, from a different aspect, and then he's gonna go into his other business. So, And you guys just cue me up when you want to jump in on when you want me to pause it on James Small's video. So the table's open.
I mean, this is my point here, fam, about, you know, when we talk about the first Sunday every month, when we do the children's book read for the children itself, man. I mean, it's so important, man, for us as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever, man, family member, period. Right. It's so important, man, to teach history, man, because there's no way you're gonna be able to explain to those people that actually had to go through those traumas of slavery. You're not gonna be able to explain to them that it was beneficial. You're not gonna be able to tell them that. And I don't know how you could tell them that, how you could even fix your face to say that, right? That it was beneficial in any kind of way, right? And I mean any kind. You can't find one way that it was beneficial, right? You know, but you know that's the importance of pushing our history, man, to our people. Just not getting how you know, I mean, I understand there's nothing we can do, but I mean, you know, for them, as far as them teaching what they teach, but it is something we can do, you know, to combat that, man, to keep our true history alive, man, because again, I done told y'all, just as you have sisters and brothers researching Kemet, Mesopotamia, Nubia, you know, Ethiopia, you know, West Africa, these people are researching these people, trying to find these people and who these people were and what they went through, their lifestyle, their culture. This is going to be the same exact thing that's going to happen to our history. We are going to have 50 years, 100 years down the road, you're going to have kids researching this history, and they're going to be finding the rewrite of history just as we're finding the rewrite of our history, how they try to change our history and our accomplishments, where they're doing the same exact thing right now, man, right in our face. This is the time that they're doing it, right? And again, it is going to happen, you know, it's going to happen to where, like we were researching Kemet, they're going to be researching slavery and the history behind it, right? They're going to be researching it, man, because it's going to be so twisted. You're going to have so many different stories and so many different, that it's going to be so twisted. It's going to take the young scholars to sift through the bullshit, right? So this is what we're dealing with right now, King, and this is what's happening right now. We're gonna find ourselves in that same situation, and this is why it's so important for us to know our history, man, and don't let them rewrite it, man. Did you see what they did I mean, how they played Frederick Douglass, man?
Yeah.
Did you see how they played him? I mean, they just blatantly lied on the ancestor, man. That man he escaped slavery. Do you think that he had anything good to say about? He called them beasts. He called these people, man. These people was savages. He called them savages, King. Hey, man, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? But then they got him speaking like you know, you know, our forefathers and all this, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this how they playing us, man, and this is what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you can't let that can't let that happen, King. We gotta fight that, man. We gotta fight that, man. We can't just lay down and let them rewrite our history again and keep doing it in our face now.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And it's important, man, for us to continue to do this, man, so that the kids and the parents that eventually join in, they have a place to go, you know, they have a real solid place to go, man, to get this history, right? You know, and it ain't about the negative effects that society is talking about. You know, we're pushing, you know, the Black power that they describe, right? You know, we RBG all day, no doubt about it, right? But it ain't with that same bullshit they came with. And that's the only narrative that they got to use to combat this stuff is their own narrative, which they disguise. So, you know, this is a very safe place for kids to come on Sankofa First Sundays. But not only that, they should be right here with us when we have these Sunday sessions and Friday sessions, right? So, you know, it's totally available for them. And it's because it's only going to hinder them in the future, man, if they don't get this history now. You know, they're going to be plagued with what Jamie was talked about, you know, the twist and more degrading, and we're worth less, and we had less to do with the building of America and abroad. So, all right, anybody else?
To put it in the historical context is how I'm always going to do it. And it's nothing new. First and foremost, that's when they teaching their education is for them. That's how it's always. They're not trying to educate nobody else. If you get caught up into their system, that's just that. You learn what they learn. From a historical context, we've had our scholars understood that. And one of our scholars named Carter G. Woodson, he created, Negro Week. It started as Negro History Week, which later morphed because our people wanted to know something about themselves. They always said that they were not teaching us about who we were. We were always learning about them. And Negro History Week later turned into Black History Month. So within the curriculum, they do have a month that's set aside for some reason. Well, I guess that's only when we're supposed to learn about ourselves. Black History Month. We did accomplish that. Let's not take that away from Carter G. Woodson. And then it was implemented into the school systems. And later, you know, you hear about in the 60s where our brothers were shutting down colleges and whatnot. They was on African studies. You know what I'm saying? So we had made it to a point to where we had our studies. As we hear now, they taking it back. Now they say they're going to stop teaching Black history. So what happens to Black History Month? Is there no such thing as Black History Month no more if y'all ain't going to teach Black history? You know? And what do you teach for Black History Month if y'all taking away Black history? You know what I'm saying? It becomes a crazy question to me. But into going on why they taking away. People had become educated. Our generation had become doing the research. We were finding out what was happening and what they actually did to us during slavery, because we hadn't been told all those stories. They were hiding them from back then. So stories of our accomplishments and suffering that we went through are still being told. We're still learning about them now in 2023. You'll hear something every Black History Month that you never goddamn knew. Like, what? Really? You know, but this being educated, this being having access is called woke. We woke. We share more information on as you'll see on Facebook than you ever learned in school, that children learning in school. If you hook up to the right thing and hit the right algorithm on Facebook, that information is coming. That Black information is coming. And if you're willing to look into it and whatnot and find people, you'll find study groups like this. So that coming out and getting back into the schools made these white peoples like you blaming us. We feel guilty. They all found this out during the pandemic when schools got shut down. And they found out what their children were learning. And their children was learning the truth about what their ancestors had done. And they was like, whoa, shit. My face might be on there in a minute, you know, because they teaching shit about the 60s and the 70s. And I was out there stopping Black children. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it wasn't that long ago when these racist activities and they starting to teach about, you know, what was the Cowboys? The main dude on the Cowboys. Remember his shit came up?
Which one?
The owner of the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Jerry
His
Jones.
shit
Jerry
came
Jones.
up and he out there back in the 19s, don't want the Black brothers to go to school. He out, you know, all that shit coming up. You know. People starting to see their grandmothers and grandfathers on that was the racist one, and they want to hide that history. They want to hide that shame. They don't want to feel that guilt. So that's when they start blaming about the they felt a certain way about it. So then they intentionally start, you can't read these books. You know what I'm saying? First it was the books, you know what I'm saying? And now it's basically, you know, shit. I think they came out in Florida. Y'all can't teach this certain thing in African. We're going to go into what y'all can teach as far as African studies. Don't teach this. Take this whole thing out of your African studies. You know what I'm saying? And if a teacher, you teach it, we're going to put your ass in jail.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You going to
So
jail.
now you got teachers don't want to teach. They don't know what to do. You know, you got this whole chaos going on, and the children are the ones that suffering from it.
That's right. Because
You know
of
what
some
I'm saying?
personal feelings. And I'm gonna tell
Right.
you something, man. Like, you know, they saying that it benefited us, man. But let me tell you something, man. Africans built the pyramids, man. They built the pyramids. How in the hell is anything you can give them or do for them or to them is beneficial? Not nothing. You couldn't give them nothing. They gave you everything. They gave you math. They gave you language. They gave you everything. Science. They gave you everything. They gave you everything. And you talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay,
wow,
if I
man.
change the language from slavery to indentured servitude,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
a
game
problem.
changer.
Yeah,
Ain't
that's
no
a problem.
question. And that's what they doing.
So they
They
saying it
been trying
wasn't
to do that.
slavery. Yeah, it was indentured servitude. They changing that whole thing.
They've been trying to do that
Right.
from when they first started talking about that you know, we was running around like savages and they had to tame, you know, they saying, you know what I'm saying, give us some civilization. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, so that was a start of that. See, that's how they soften you up for the kill. So they start you out by, okay, well, we know they were savages, we had to save them, woo woo woo. And then on top of that, we had to, you know, teach them how to work and woo woo woo. So it benefited them. You know what I mean? Civilize them, teach them the value of work and whoop and you know, compensation for labor and woo woo whoop and all this, right? Nah, man. See, this is what this the picture they trying to paint. You know what I'm saying? It's the picture they trying to paint, man. And so, like I said, each and every time you see something strange, it's usually them just they get you ready for what's coming. So they just seeing how you react to it. Slowly but surely, they throw something out there, see how you react to it. And if you don't get, you know what I'm saying, just like, you know, I mean, it's I'm telling you, these people is tricky, they sneaky, they slick, but I'm just saying, and Gerald is right, you know, we the ones that fought so hard to integrate because we had our own schools, man. We had our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we fought so hard to integrate with them, and now you pissed about them teaching what they teach in their school system. And I agree with you, Gerald. I agree with you. So what we
Right.
got to do is what we doing. Parents, you got to quit, you know, just pass scrolling past and y'all got to start paying attention, man, to what's going on. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Mess around and don't know your history, you definitely gonna you definitely could repeat it. You definitely could repeat it. And if you pay attention to what's going on around you with this BRICS, all the, this economic war they going on, they got a world war brewing, and it's already here. It's in an economic stage right now. It's getting ready to come to blows in a minute. They already come to blows over there in Ukraine. They already had blows over there. It's, you know what I'm saying? Now they're lining up over there down in Hawaii. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Y'all better pay attention. These people, man, it's going down, man. Y'all go ahead, man. I'm on mute.
Hey, just real quick, the integration of schools had a lot to deal with, the integration of a whole bunch of different other aspects too that was necessary. And, we could only hope for the integration of schools being able to give us more, access to better education, and stuff like that. But, of course, they flipped the script on that. And so I just want to say too, Sankofa 180 Degrees is getting ready to launch a series of the 42 negative confessions, right? And so Eric, you have to get in on that, man, and get the information that we was talking about a couple of days ago and stuff, and yesterday actually. So we'll load you up with that, man. And just know that Sankofa gonna be bringing it, coming real soon. So whoever's next, go ahead, Kerry or Gerald. I mean Eric, whichever.
Oh, go ahead, Kerry.
Okay, thank you, Eric. As I was watching that, I have two nieces that are half Black, and I have a beautiful granddaughter that's half Black, and she's not learning about her Black history, and she really wanted it. So she and my daughter spend 2 hours at least, which doesn't seem like much, but it's a start, every week, and they research Black history. And I'm really proud of her, and she's just so excited about it. And both my nieces graduated from college. One got a job in Dallas. Just happy with her life, doesn't seem real interested in Black history. Just goes along happily. My other niece got a job, an internship in DC, and she recently got to go to Africa for 6 weeks, and she's just on fire. She's just so wanting to learn more and more and more and more, and that thrills me. I wish that everyone could be on Sankofa 180 and learn all these things and see the truth. And it saddens me that these books are being taken away, history is being held, and it doesn't seem fair, and it scares me for the younger generations coming up. And that's why this is so very crucial, that we continue to learn and to grow and to know the truth. So once again, I thank you guys. You guys put in so much work in all this, and you contribute so much to my knowledge, and then I can share with my nieces and my granddaughter and with my family if they're interested. I've learned not to push it on them. If they ask, man, I'm on it. So anyway, once again, thank you guys, and I'm so glad you're all here.
Hey, Sankofa 180 Degrees, baby. Hey, and I know the boys, man, and Carrie, she be listening attentively. And I don't know what she be doing behind the scenes. She just said what she was doing. So, that's really important. Now, I don't have access to those kids like Carrie does, but she gives it to them, and that's really impressive to me. But I know these boys on here, man, these kings, man, they put in this work on our history like a job, right? If not more so. There's no excuses to not researching and going to get yours.
with
Hey, Eric, you want to go
the
ahead? Oh, go
problem
ahead.
becomes that when they take our history away, and when you understand Black history is first world history, the first history is Black history. When you start dealing with history, you're gonna deal with Black first, whether we like it or not. That's just the truth. To take that away, you taking away history. You marginalizing it by taking Black out of it. I don't care what you're dealing with. But if a kid go up in that system and they Black and they don't learn about themselves, once they come in contact with that information and they found out that they were not told, it puts an edge on their shoulder. It makes them even edgy against all white people, even though all white people ain't did it to them. It's like, you ain't told me this, and I was taught all about y'all shit, and I ain't learned about this. And it brings a little cocky,
Animosity.
animosity when it was supposed to be, we're supposed to learn together. It's a us against them type of deal. Because in the way which we learn. And then that information, where we get it from, supposedly is not certified because of where it comes from, if it don't come from white people and whatnot. But you'll find out, just as that article that we just listened to, a lot of Europeans will tell the truth. They'll promote this type of information. And somehow people won't listen to it unless they playing it. It ain't true. They ain't gonna just listen to us. They gotta have a white person verifying. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and that's
right.
just sometimes just the way it is in this society. But that half white, half Black thing that you said, Carrie, it's how people identify and how the world identifies with those people. Because when you go way back, when you start identifying with half white and half Black, dealing with Black history and our people, most of our people, a lot of them were half Black, half white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because y'all boys talk.
Washington, W.B. Du Bois, Bob Marley, and you bet not, don't play with their Blackness now either.
Right.
That's one thing you better not ever goddamn do. Don't play with their
that's
Black.
the truth.
Yeah, them the ones that'll get on you more. And one of their mothers or fathers is white. And once they identify Black and go in like that, it's almost like they seen both sides. And it's like, I ain't going for that inequality bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, they seen both sides, and you just treating me differently. And they don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? They do not understand why. Malcolm X had a little bit of that in it from his grandparent, you hear him talking about him being light skinned. Don't play with him, man, okay?
Right.
Go ahead, somebody was gonna speak. I give up the floor.
Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Eric said it got mixed because y'all boys was crossing that European border, man. Sneaking and
Yeah, y'all was creeping over there across the streets of Gibraltar. Over there creeping, ain't telling nobody. Mess around and got over there and got caught in that cold ass storm. They got caught in that storm over there, boy. You ass out for a while, eh? Hey, but real talk, back to the education. Can y'all hear me okay? I need to.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Well, like Gerald said, for us that know, this is part of colonization, imperialism, and all of such. So we know this is a part of it. To even expect equality in the classroom, in the boardroom, in the church room, or any other room, you're confused. And we need to talk about the confusion. We need to talk about the confusion so we don't got to waste time talking about their tactics. If we understand that that's their MO, then we can understand. We don't got to spend time on their tactics. We know that's part of the MO for the last 300 some goddamn years. So I don't want to waste time talking about what they do, what they will do. I want to spend time building on how we're going to counteract anything that they do. Anything. And so what we need to do is empower ourselves with information. One of the biggest things I heard the guy say, who played the video we just played, was that we need to educate ourselves about the history so I can sit a young brother down and teach him without a book in my hand. Off the top of my goddamn head, I can lay him down 1,000 years of history right in 20 minutes. I should be able to give somebody that just from my peel. That's what education, and that's what the difference between education and, inspiring and enlightening your damn self. So I think that we need to spend a lot of time on steps that we need to take for our own selves, for our own families, for our own communities, on how we link them with the information we have and how we teach them how to use the information to empower themselves to go on a day-to-day life. Because the information is not anything if you're not using it. And the only way you can use it is if you practice it in repetition, like any damn thing else, from exercise to basketball or anything. You have to practice this. You have to practice it. So I want to spend time practicing on curriculum-based information that we can pass on to anyone who comes to this site and anyone who we meet and greet with. Because we can talk about what they plan, but if we don't got no plan, their plan don't matter to us. That's their plan. If we ain't got nothing to counteract what they're doing, we ain't got no way to say, you know what, we planting potatoes, I'm planting onions, you planting corn, goddammit. If we ain't fuck Walmart, we gonna live off each other. If we ain't talking about that, shit, man, we better get it right. We better find out where we gonna put some seeds in the ground at, who got some access to some water, who got when we gonna plant these collard greens need to be planted for next season, and how we gonna distribute these amongst ourselves, who else needs some damn vegetables and some food. And if we need to, find a way to bottle some of this good ass spring water I got here in Michigan and send it across the goddamn country across the country who need this damn water. Hell, we can find out who got access to what and utilize what we have and start making something happen with it. That's all I got for right now.
For right now.
Right now. Well,
hey, that's a great
killer right there.
Hey, that's a great segue into the next video too, man. So man, y'all boys be laying it down. Carrie, I'm so proud of you, baby girl. No doubt about it. I'm so proud of you, Queen Mama.
Man, that's right. That's right. Hey, I tell you what, man, like he's right though, man. Like, it don't matter what they teach. It don't matter what they teach. See, but the thing is family, we gotta come up out of the closet, gotta come up out the dark, gotta hit that link, come on in here, and let's build, man. So this way, you're able to build with your kids. Bring your kids on in. Bring them in to the first Sunday, right? Sankofa first Sunday, right? That's right,
Yeah. Bring them into any one of the sessions.
Any one of the sessions, man. Come on in, man. We on Friday and we on Sundays. Come on in and let's talk about it, man. Listen, because this is what this is about. It's about connecting with the youth. So, we could come together, man, and I'm telling you, man, like we could do, it's unlimited what we could do, man. It's unlimited what we could do as one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gotta, you gotta come up and learn about, see, because listen, man, you got the Aboriginals that's out here pushing some whole different history. They pushing a whole different history, King. You got the Hebrew Israelites that's out here pushing a whole different history. Right? You know what I'm saying? You got some of them saying that they were never in slavery. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't even brought here from slavery. They was already here, type shit. Like, again, I mean,
that ain't going that what they believe ain't gonna put no food in my stomach. What they believe is not gonna give me a roof over my head.
what
That
I'm
ain't
saying is that right, and I get it, man.
my time.
I get it, man. But this is the separation, is what I'm saying. This is all the separation that we have to go through to come on one accord. So right, because like, listen, man, me and Unc, we've talked about it, about land, buying some land up there, man. We got that spring, that natural spring water. You know what I'm saying? You know, a whole rivers running through the whole property. You know, for a whole community. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about 1,500 acres type thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about where we can have a small city. You feel me? Like you know, like we've talked about this, King, but right now, because you know that's the lick. Get the property, and we have a whole farm on the property. You know what I'm saying? We can feed ourselves,
Hey,
clothe
man,
ourselves.
man, that was the real benefit of living in Idaho, man, was we got all that stuff surrounding us, right? All that
Beautiful.
access surrounding us, you know, a plethora,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we come down here and we get, you know, a little more you know,
Congested.
just different down here, man. You know, so you know what I mean? It's good, you know, I dig it, you know what I mean? We got natural spring water here too and stuff. So but we had plenty of it up there, plenty of the woods, plenty of nature. Good Lord, right? We have the best fishing, catfish capital of the world, you know, on and on and on, man. It's just glorious, man. But I think they capitalizing off of their environment because their property taxes, rent, and all that stuff is just so super high, man. You know, and so you know, it's time for me to bounce. And I could have never gotten what I got down here up there for the price that we got. So
Sweet.
yeah,
Nah,
it's good.
and so this is the thing, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, so and Eric, I get it, man. I'm with you 100% on that, King. Like, me and my wife we've been looking at property. We've been looking at property, man. We're looking at land, man, up there in the mountains, you know, so where we guaranteed to have water, you know, guaranteed to have water, guaranteed to have, you know, not high mountains, but you know, up there, Tennessee, North Carolina areas. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you know, you got the natural spring water, you got the rivers running through, you got the creeks, so you gonna always have, you know, you can always live off the land. You could do a farm. Man, I seen a property for 1,500 acres.
That's
1,500
what's up.
acres, man. Like, listen, man. Like, what? That's like I said, man. Like, you could do a garden, so like a man. You could do your own, man. You could take care of that whole city.
Yeah.
Self-sufficient, King. Right? Self-sufficient, man. Like, man, listen. But like I said, man, go ahead,
Yeah. So James Small is going to talk about all of what you guys talked about, right? We're going to bring that up. So let's jump into that a little bit. Carrie, you got anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else want to interject before I jump this off?
No, sir, I'm good.
Hey, Gerald, auntie, want to get in for a minute?
I'm going back and forth. She good.
All right. You give her my love, man.
All right. Hey, Unc said hi, Auntie. Unc said hi. Yeah, she says it's hot out there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
All right.
You guys can hear that? Can everybody hear
No,
that?
I can't hear that. Wait. Do it again. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
History as the thing that guides your relationship is what's going to make you a believer. History as the thing that guides your relationship is what's gonna make you a people. If you're not a people, you can look alike all you want. You can suffer together all you want. You can dress alike, hairstyle alike. You can even talk alike and act stupid alike. But guess what? If you're not a people, you're gonna be exploited alike by other peoples who are a people. Every one of us in here know how to make fried rice. You just put some oil in a pan, put some rice in a darn pan, and you fry it. And if you want some shrimp in there, you can take some little shrimp and you put it in the pan and you fry it. If you want to mix some eggs in there, cut little onions or something else. So why in the heck are we going to someone else's? Is theirs. So somebody comes and open a little dirty, filthy restaurant in the corner of my neighborhood. Because we line up around the corner, the bar is something, we can make at home and be more people in the same way. So,
Hey, Unc, it's kind of breaking up, King.
real people that they already have.
Okay, hold up. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send it to you and let you play it.
Okay.
Just a second.
Spin the papyrus where they're talking about gynecology and they're talking about brain surgery and they're talking about.
Okay, I sent it to you. Just started. Yeah, just started at
You want me to start from the beginning or what?
maybe about 1 minute in.
1 minute? Okay.
How do we train ourselves and give ourselves the confidence that we need to build strong families, to stop the killing? Why are they killing and shooting in our community?
You can start it from wherever you want to, but you know, we was about at a minute or so.
I got you, baby boy, right here, man. Hey, this I gotta do it how you want it, man. This
No,
your.
no, either way is good, baby. It's all good.
All right, so you see you see that, right?
Yep.
See, okay. All right, fam. Here we go. We're gonna start this off from the beginning. Here we go.
And then Jamie, you just coordinated. You know, somebody wanna.
A little dirty, filthy restaurant on the corner of our neighborhood, and we line up around the corner to buy something that we can make at home and feed more people from the same place. You know why? Because you don't have a real identity because you're not a real people and they are real. Somebody has a pie, they call it. Somebody was in a cultural situation of some poverty, and so they had some rotten tomatoes, and they had some spoiled cheese, and they had some bread without yeast, and it came out to be pizza. And so we're gonna take somebody else's poverty food and make them millionaires. Because they've identified this food and themselves as being the same thing because they have an identity and you don't have one. So you think by buying their identity extension, which is their food, that's going to give you an identity. So you can say, I'm eating Chinese food. I'm eating Italian pizza. I'm wearing Italian shoes. Shoes are nothing but some leather and some threads. So how does it become? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to where I'm at, because what we have to do is not as difficult as we say. Because even though they've closed your schools, they've taken your history out. Yeah. Everybody got a living room. Open your own school. How are you gonna tell me that I'm gonna look at my babies? And I got 8 of them babies. The youngest is 36, I think. Yeah, he's still giving me trouble. He called while I was sitting over there. He thinks he's the father. And then I got 22 of their children. They're my babies. And I'm blessed to have lived long enough to have those babies, because for all, according to what probability of statistics should have said, I should have been gone. You know? But here I am. Somebody says, you keep recreating yourself every few years. Yes, I do. Because I be hanging with the God in me. That's right. And going, okay, this is resurrection time. If your schools have been taken over by the state of whiteness, and they won't teach what you want taught, what in the hell is stopping you from getting a video and a book and sitting in your living room with your children and teaching them? And you have families, invite the family over. One weekend we at this home, the next weekend we do it at this home, the next weekend at this home. And then as the family gets strong, invite some of your friends together, and guess what you end up having? A university of your own.
That's right.
Doesn't cost that much money.
That's right.
Back that up again. You don't even have to call them freedom schools. Just say I'm calling Love My Children's School. Love My Children's School. I like the freedom schools. You know, we were part of it. It's the same concept, but we had it as the freedom school. So let's try to see if we can say we love you enough not to just sit around saying that they took your historical food away, but we love you enough to give you that historical food ourselves.
That's right.
Now history is not just about heroes and heroines and dates and stuff. We made a lot of doggone mistakes too that we better study and understand and work it out.
That's right.
History is not just about the men. History is about the woman and the man. Our community is not about the woman being this and the man being this and the woman is God and the man. That's a bunch of bull. What this thing is about, the family.
That's right.
And you can't have one unless you got a man and a woman who make that agreement to recreate themselves. And let me tell you something. There is no holy book in the world that was written by God. All was written by men and women. And there's no idea that a man and woman can have greater than their capacity to create. You didn't quite get that. Let me find a simpler way to say it. I cannot create with my mind anything greater than what is possible for me to do with my hands. And so you need to go, that's why history becomes important. Because you need to go say, why did our ancestors write the pyramid text? You think God wrote the Bible and the Quran and the Torah? Well, go back all the way to Egypt to the pyramid text and then read where God Amen says, when I realized that I existed, standing beside me was the feminine principle called Ma'at. He didn't say I bring Ma'at into being. He said when I realized I existed, this feminine phenomena that creates harmony and balance in the universe existed beside me. Now our ancestors wrote that because that's how they understood reality. And then he goes on in this pyramid text. Our ancestor says that the divine says that I created everything that my heart desired. And when I had done that, I then expanded in all of it. Meaning everything that is also me, the divinity. But the cool part, the last statement in that little bitty dissertation in the pyramid text about creation, when Amun, who's now Amun-Ra, is finished with everything. You know, he done spit out Shu and coughed up Tefnut. Shu is the air, and Tefnut is the moisture. Then the air and the moisture created the earth, Geb, and created the heavens. Nut. And then Nut, the heavens and the earth, meaning the elements and the gases and the electrical currents and the sun and all that stuff, then created a Sar and a Set, and what's the sister name? Help me out. Nephthys and her husband, Set. Meaning the human beings. And they even had a Garden of Eden. They didn't call it Garden of Eden, but they had the tree with the fruit and the people in it. So where did somebody get that story from?
Hey, pause it right there, Jamie, for a second.
8,000, 10,000 years before the books you read from.
That's right.
Where did the story come from?
So he said that Nephthys and Set were the humans. talk about
Well,
that for a second.
yeah, I mean, like you know,
all of the, I saw the whole family would have been human in the myth.
Right.
right.
Yeah, yeah. We ain't got to stay there. I just wanted to not miss that point.
Okay.
Okay.
But the part I liked about it that was really sweet is when God does all of this stuff, creates all of this stuff according to the Africans, he says, but I came from my mother, Noon. He said the primordial principle that produced all that exists had to be feminine. And they call it the primordial waters, Noon. If we understand the story of the mother, the father, and the child, that becomes Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, or Mary, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost, however they want to work that out. All they were talking about is the man, the woman, and their offspring. That is the symbol of God in Africa, not a man, not a woman. It is the man, the woman, and the offspring that is the symbol of divinity. But they took that away from you by creating the spookism of the Holy Ghost. You see? Just read it for yourself.
Right.
There's a book called The Pyramid Text, The Coffin Text, and the Book of the Coming Forth by Night. But let's come back to more contemporary stuff. When we talk about white supremacy taking things away from you, they live in a place called Europe. Named after the granddaughter of an Egyptian pharaoh, Europa. All you gotta do is read Herodotus, book 2. You remember when some of us were young, because I'm 71, I'm above some people here, but there's a few of my brother and sister here who can work with me. When we were in school, they said the father of history is whom? Herodotus. But then black folks started reading the books. He ain't father of history now. He don't know what he's talking about now. Because the father of history wrote a whole volume about black folks. Ruling the world, creating the world, giving Greeks to gods, teaching them civilization, teaching them geometry, etc., etc., etc. So if you get a chance, and it's not hard to find, get Herodotus book 2. And for those of us brothers and sisters who are into the Islamic history, which is our history too, get a book written in the 8th century Iraq by a brother named Al-Jahiz. Al-Jahiz writes 9 short books. Today we would call them 9 long essays. But he writes this, he lives in Iraq, he's a black man in Iraq, because most of the people in Iraq those days were black people. And so he writes this book, where he explains how the Prophet Muhammad is black, all of the principal people around him is black. This is the 8th century, this is not John Henry Clark, all right? And he talks about this sister who's like a Florence Nightingale. She heads up the Prophet Muhammad's medical corps. So we need to study our history, because it will change how we do everything we do when we do what we do. Then you'll understand what white supremacy is. You're not going to understand what white supremacy has done until you know what it has done. So if you don't know who you are and what was taken away from you, you won't know that something was even taken away. That's why history comes to go, because history is going to tell you what was taken away. How can you repair a damage if you don't know what was damaged?
That's right.
If you're gonna, even if I had an artery damage, I have to know what it was before it got damaged in order to put it back right. So your fractured consciousness and your broken identity, you must know what it is before the European came into our space. Otherwise you can say, I'm building a black nation. But if you think you can build a black nation with white ideology, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it unless you're going to spend 500 years enslaving and murdering African people by the millions. You're not going to do it unless you're able to murder a whole continent of people who live here in North America. You're not going to do it unless you carry out a continued genocide in the rest of the world called imperialism and colonialism. And it's going to take you about 2,000 years to get that set up, and then you can catch up to where he's at. And you're not going to do that because he's not going to let you take his place. You have to find out who you are. And how would you solve the problem? How would you solve that problem? Yes, we were the first physicians. You can read the Ebers Papyrus and out of Egypt and the Smith Papyrus, where they're talking about gynecology and they're talking about brain surgery and they're talking about, we were doing all these things when they were in the caves.
That's right.
And now they make you think that you can't put a Band-Aid on your hands. So how do we return ourselves and give ourselves the confidence that we need to build strong families, to stop the killings? Why is there killings and shooting in our community from New York to Chicago, LA to Detroit?
Yeah.
Why are we killing each other?
We don't know ourselves.
Because we don't value each other. And why don't we value each other? Because we don't value ourselves.
Yeah.
If I don't value me, how in the hell can I value you? And if I don't value you, I'll do anything to you. So how do we get this value back, this worth back
Yes.
of what we are? That very simple thing that people think is too simple to work. Study your history.
That's it. That's it.
If you think it's too simple to work, try it. If it's such a bad idea, why do they go so far to deny us that thing? And then you can put in context the revolutions that produced the things called religion. Because Christianity could work for us if we knew who we were. Islam can work for us if we weren't ever imitating the Greek and Roman children we call the Arabs. You see? But we're not going to have any of those systems work for us as long as we are imitating the people who would then impose them on us in a way that they can't work for us.
That's right.
So, white supremacy, no such thing. They're not supreme to nobody or nothing. So I like to say, when Paul comes on this time, I guess, you don't put a stopwatch in the pocket. Okay. It becomes so important to understand what white supremacy really is. And what it is the false notion of being supreme.
Wow.
They're not supreme.
Oh, I love
There's a
that.
false notion of white supremacy. There's no such thing as white supremacy. There's the false notion. There's this distorted reality of someone who has not elevated themselves above barbarity, that he's supreme because he can take the life. But here's what Africa would have helped us with had we been able to retain our culture, had we been able to retain our spirituality. I'm a priest in the Yoruba tradition. I'm a priest of Oya.
Yes, yes.
And Oya is this beautiful woman, metaphorically with locks, that runs through the forest and changes things. She's symbolized by the wind, because the wind blows things. She's the hurricane, she's the tempest. The wind blows away the stale, old, and allows the fresh new to come into being. So she's the symbol of change and process, right? And in that tradition, I had to learn a lot of theology. And I do have a doctorate in theology.
Yes, yes, I know.
You know, parents, or your great-grandparents.
That's right.
Come back. That's what African culture would teach you.
That's
It would
right.
teach you that there's no such thing as death.
That's right.
That the 400 plus elements that make up the body, the matter that you live in, when it dies, when you leave this matter, it deteriorates and go back into those 400 something elements. And if you're not stuck in some metal casket, you go back into the ground and be the fuel that would, the moisture that would evaporate back up as rain, that would come back down as the water you drink, or the other minerals would be in the plant that you eat, but you would just recycle in nature and continue to be. But what they said about the specific human comings and going is actually, in our tradition, we had 7 times to come and go to perfect ourselves. And each of the 7 comings and goings, we had 8 steps we had to master in terms of ethical, moral, principle development of your character. And then in doing so, if you reach that 7 times and you hadn't done this, then you had to go back to your ancestors. And they had to kind of refashion you and restructure you. White folks took that, they call that purgatory. Yes, they did. They just took your stuff and gave it another name. If you had done good in your cycle, and you completed the 7, which very few people do, then you don't come back anymore. You become what they call an orisha, a loa, a force in nature that the rest of us can appeal to help us solve the problems here. Matter of fact, in our tradition, if someone was getting ready to go into the ancestral realm, you're supposed to whisper in their ears and give them the message there to take to the ancestors, to tell the ancestors what's going on down here. This is the problems we're having. If you send somebody, please send someone who can help us solve these contradictions. And we wish you well. And we tell the person, don't eat, and then one of the traditions, they don't eat worms and stuff like that. You eat only good food, so when you get to the ancestors, you'll be healthy. And then when the baby comes, the reason in Africa a child gets outdoored after 8 days or so, because it takes that long for the family and the elders to figure out who came back. Who is this person?
That's right.
And that's how you get named. We pick our name before people come. That's totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate.
Gee.
You're supposed to name a child only after the elders in that family, in that community, figure out which spirit this child most resembles from the movements and things and the looks and stuff, the smell and other things we get from it. And then we introduce that child to the community and say, this is who this is. That's our culture. They're taking that away from us. So studying history helps you learn some things. If you knew your body was not you, then nobody can threaten you with the taking away of it, and you'll have the courage to fight whomever you need to fight to get back what you need to get back to yourself and your community. So, white supremacy, the false notion of white supremacy and racism as practice. Here in Detroit, we said if you don't get economic, politics, and culture together, you can't provide food, clothing, and shelter for yourself and your family. What is economics? It's the wealth in your ecology. What's in your ecology as wealth? Real estate. What else is in your ecology as wealth? The largest part of your wealth is the tax revenues that's taken from everybody, sent to Washington. Washington steals what they're going to steal, sent to the state. State steals what they're going to steal, they send it to Detroit.
That's right.
Everybody else has got some kind of mechanism in place to take that wealth and use it for their communities except us. They know how to mine the wealth of the tax dollars, but we don't know how to mine the wealth of the tax dollars.
That's right.
That's what economics is. Echo from the ecology, you know, the root word is echo, ecology. So the wealth that you're talking about, that you call economics, is what you can harvest from your ecology. But you have to find out what wealth is in your ecology. The other wealth that's in your ecology come from circulating your capital. That's right. That means you have to control the retail aspect of your economic system. Meaning you must have and own the store.
That's right.
Otherwise you won't shop there. It means you have to, once you can establish your retail, then you've got to establish your wholesale.
That's right. Sir.
I think Dr. Anderson, Clyde Anderson, tells us that the dollar must circulate in our community at least 10 to 15 times in order for riches to be turned into wealth.
Right.
We have the riches of over $1 trillion, but we don't have any wealth from that riches to talk about. Because our system of understanding how to circulate those riches to make it into wealth, we can't get there yet.
That's right.
We're still confused because white supremacy has told us that we have so many of these differences that we can't reckon how to organize as one unit. You know, we call ourselves the black community. You're not a black community.
That's right.
You're a bunch of black neighborhoods in a white community.
That's right.
Or an Arab community.
Hey.
Or Latino community.
Right.
Or an Asian community. If you wanted to be a community is a group of people who have a similar culture, similar language, similar religion, usually have some blood relation, but definitely social relationship, and live in the same geographic space. That's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now a community is all of that except you own the business, you own the real estate, and you control the public services like police, fire, and schools. So if you want to become a community, You have to take your $1 trillion that you gave away to those people who would not urinate on you if you were on fire. Right? And you got to take that $1 trillion and you've got to find a way to spend it with yourself.
That's right.
The only reason our sons and daughters don't have jobs because we take the money we make and we give it to other people who make sure their sons and daughters have jobs. And then somebody tries to make you feel guilty when you say you're going to boycott somebody because they support Donald Trump, who will say outrageous racist thing. And I don't know who this dude is, but he's at least validated that movie. Because if we had made this movie about Donald Trump, they'd think we were just blowing smoke about white supremacy and racism. But thanks to Donald,
That's right.
the white racism have just rose up like a Frankenstein out of the grave. You know? And they're expressing themselves all over the place, validating what we're saying.
That's right.
So we don't have to convince you about racism anymore because Donald has done that job. What we've got to convince you of is that you can overcome racism. And the best way to overcome racism is to kill the racist in you.
That's right.
Oh, y'all scared of that. Kill the racist in you. If you can kill the racist in yourself, meaning the values, interests, and principles of Europeans that dominate your character. For those of us who like the big word like paradigm, you know, this paradigm, meaning how we get the information that we use to solve our problems. How do we get the mindset that allow us to take information in a certain way and format in order to solve our everyday problem? Well, you can't take the information from the person who's trying to imprison you to then free you. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. So if you think that you can have that value system, then you need to take a look at this book. I think it's called the Threefold Lotus Sutra, and there's another book called the Vedic Hymns, where it's breaking down a human being. This is in the Buddhist system, which is the derivative of the African system, and someone is born like a blank page, but it has two directions to go in. You can go in the direction of knowledge, or you can go in the direction of ignorance. If you move in the direction where ignorance becomes your dominant developmental pattern, then you will move into the area of desire for things that you can't figure out how to create or how to get, because you have not educated yourself. And then your desire will lead to envy of those who have those things that you desire. And then the envy as a part of your character will lead to the jealousy that you will have because someone have the things that you desire and you can't have. And jealousy almost always leads to conflict and to violence, death, and destruction. Don't take what I'm just saying lightly.
Okay.
White culture moves on that path.
Okay.
If you go into the culture of Africa, it's predicated on having knowledge. Knowledge says that you need to then get understanding. Understanding requires your developing wisdom, which is simply the appropriate application of knowledge. And then that leads to enlightenment, which then allows you to build in harmony and peace. Now, when we look at white supremacy, we need to know what it took away from us and what it gave to us. It gave us a way that don't solve problems. And it took away from us a way to solve problems. And I'll end with this, I only have a few minutes, but I want to talk about some of the things they take away. In Africa, almost everywhere I went, and I've been gone there for like almost 40 years. And I've married a lot of people over there and here. Traditional marriage in Africa has nothing to do with the two individuals, except their ambassadors. It has to do with the two families who decided to unite.
That's right.
For the greater good, to provide food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security for themselves. But the man and the woman who represent this union, they come together because there is all the energy, you know that thing we call love? Now in the West, what you call love is usually lust, desire,
That's right.
you know, need, attachment. I'm on my 2-minute mark, I got it. And so we call that love, but that's not love. Love is, in the African context, when you learn to develop the divinity in you, and the divinity in you, or the God in you, recognize someone else who has developed the divinity in them, and then the God in you develop a relationship to the God in that person. That's African love. And then those two persons come together to represent the union of the two families. And that's what the whole ceremony is about, marrying the two families, not the two individuals.
Okay.
The two individuals have married themselves by the virtue of the God in one recognizing the God in the other, and the God in one appreciating the God in himself, appreciating the God in the other. So white supremacy have taken away your human beingness. In order to get your human beingness back, you have to begin to reprogram yourself with your history, with your culture, with your concept of life, your concept of love, your concept of death, your concept of friendship, your concept of sisterhood, your concept of brotherhood, your concept of family. You have to revisit all of those things in order to reconstruct yourself. So that you can provide for yourself and your family food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security. That's the bottom line. Don't lie to yourself. And to do that, you know you must take control of economic politics and culture. So thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
So there we go.
Yeah, caught him. What?
So when I was putting this together,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so when I was putting this together, I was, you know, I had the panel in mind, man, because I knew it was gonna, you know, strike a pose in the interest of that I know of each and every one of you guys here, right? And so I like a lot what he put out there. You know, it covered the conversation before we went live, and it covered the conversation of the first video, the past couple of weeks, and interacting during the week, and it also, you know, addressed set one more time, right? You know, and so we had a big discussion about that. That's why I paused it there for that moment, and so you know, and that was just a quick put together, man. But even though it was a quick put together, I ain't bringing no bullshit, right? So you already know that. And so and that's what I mean, man. You know, we get to be ready in season and out of season, man. You know, whether we're you know, something sneaks up on us or not, right? You know, we prepare for it, cool. If it sneak up on us, cool, let's get it, right? And I think that's what the message was about. You know, from the idea of them taking the history out of schools. Fuck it, so what? You know what I mean? You know, just don't stay stagnant. To you know, Gerald's involvement. You know, we got, you know, and all our involvement. We got boots on the damn ground, right? We putting in actual action instead of just ideas. And so that isn't to stand above anybody; it's to inspire others and organize, and so so that we can be effective. And so it wasn't surprising to me that the conversation before we started playing the videos was that the videos that I played was complimentary to the conversation. So, you know, I just think it's time for us to put boots on the ground somewhere, man. And, you know, and simply we can just teach the kids in the house, you know, get your ass online and get you some books and learn your damn self, and then feed the kids, because it's intriguing, right? Totally intriguing. It's going to do its work on your ass. And then, you know, that indoctrinated state of mind, you know, recreating yourself, and you know, that's going to be up to you, right? It's up to me, right? Now, I've withheld knowledge without action, you know, and I take a lot for granted, you know, but I address a lot that I take for granted too. So, you it's just time to put that work in, man. Our future generation depends on it. We as the younger people, our elders were saying the same thing. It depends on us, and look at us. We're getting it, putting it in, and then making it available to people. So, there's many aspects. I'm gonna leave that up to the panel, and I'll dip in, every now and then, because there's a lot of custom points on that video from Dr. James Smalls, Professor James Smalls. So go ahead, please.
Gerald, you want to speak on it?
Oh, yeah, that was a pretty good video. One of my teachers, brilliant speaker, student of Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, also worked with him. So Dr. James Smalls always brings it. I think he brings it at a level that we call grassroots, where it can be understood and not really going over anybody's head. But he hit on a bunch of different things, which basically come from the concept of knowledge of self. We deal with the knowledge of self in those aspects of the self. We talked about it's an aspect that we call our spiritual self, our soul, our godly self. You heard him incorporating a lot of that into the talks. There's dealing with the physical body. You heard him talking about a little bit of that. It's the social self, how we deal with the community. You heard him talking about that. The mind. You heard him talking about that. And the historical self. And it was based on history. So going back to the concept, knowledge of self is to get education, but you can get miseducated. He was identifying those things. He was saying people identifying with the Chinese food and Italian pizza as far as dealing with their cultures. We understand that that's alien identification. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Once you understand those terms, well, okay, what is education and what is miseducation? Education is something that's going to be beneficial for you. That's what he was trying to say. Anything that's not beneficial for us, whatever they teach us, throw that shit. It ain't got nothing to deal with us. Throw it away. Anything that's with an alien identity, throw it away. Also understanding white supremacy is set up to do that. It's set up to bring you into their identity. It's set up, as he say, white supremacy is something false. They are not supreme. But they finna teach you about their shit all day, every day. As he say, you're gonna learn about Herodotus. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna learn about Manetho. You're not gonna learn about Imhotep. That's something we had to go do. You don't think they know about fucking Imhotep? They know about Imhotep. They ain't gonna teach us about no goddamn Imhotep. They ain't gonna teach no young black child about the multi-genius. But he also had the solution. He said it ain't their fault. It's for us to do. What's wrong with you doing it? That's what Eric had brought up later from the brother, in the presentation. When the presentation say first thing you got to do is educate. Talk about yourself. Before you can teach anybody the thing, you got to know. Starts with you first. Then say support others, because others have already did the work, like our scholars. Watch their videos, buy their books. You heard him. He's a scholar, but he was telling you what books to buy. He said, read this here. I can tell you about it, but read this here. Check this out. These are what educators do.
That's
Have
right.
open conversations. He having a lecture. We having an open conversation on the forum. Then become the educator. If the people not doing it, you just can't keep complaining. If you got the knowledge, you have to do it. That's what we're doing. We have access to the knowledge. We're bringing it to this forum. We're trying to share information with others with like minds and to build on these different issues, try to find solutions to problems that have always been with us. When, as he said, we white supremacy and we understand it, and you'll keep seeing any of our scholars, they're gonna always say, you gotta study white, you gotta study your shit, but you gotta study them too. You gotta know what the hell they did to us to truly understand. You know, so we, like you say, when you understand how great we were, and they knew about this, when they conquer you, they know what you got. Before they come and conquer you, they know even when they talk about the whole slavery thing and make us think, okay, we were some kind of savages and we went into slavery. They don't want to tell. We want to believe that, well, it was good that I got enslaved and came over here, or I would have been a savage. We wasn't savage. We never was savage. That's the whole key right there, to make you believe that we were. That's white supremacy telling us that we was that way. Then they'll soften it up. Well, now we didn't really enslave y'all. Y'all was over there enslaving each other. And then we just came in, you know, y'all were doing this to each other already. We just came in and made it on a global scale, a global level. Then they'll put the history, everybody always have been enslaved. No, it ain't no big deal of slavery. What's the big deal? What you complaining about? People have enslaved and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they keep trying to soften it up. Keep trying to soften it up. And again, going back to what he's saying, knowing our history. Once we know our history, it's our duty to teach. As we was dealing with those passages the last time we was on, that y'all so much like, it has to be passed on to the next generation. It has to be passed on to the children. The great Dr. John Henry Clark that we know of, he wasn't that great till he got old. He still had work. Most of the time we know about him, we see him old, he can't even see the end. That's when he was doing his greatest work. That's what he said was people was going, talking about the history and telling this, that, and the other. And he was like, shit, somebody got to do it. Just because he was old didn't mean he couldn't do it. It was his time to do it. Sometimes we look at us and think of somebody else. Sometimes we, as the OGs, we got to do that what we hear people complaining about. Ain't nobody going to do it but us. We are the Dr. John Henry Clarks. We are the James Smalls. We are all those type of things. Yeah, we have that same access to that information. We have the same platform. You know, that y'all have heard me talk about that, seeing the God in you, me and you, God. That's the same. It's a universal knowledge of self from the Nile Valley. He ain't did nothing but got to it a little earlier before me. Dr. Ben ain't getting nothing to it earlier before me. But once we get to it and get that source, we know it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just returning to the source and then reading and understanding it. And okay, let me share this information. Let me plug a brother. Let me plug a sister who might not have access to it and might not know about it. But in this age information, at this time, once we say it like this here, that same little goddamn phone that people play games on, you can get a bunch of shit. That's a computer right there.
That's right.
We walk around and act like we only use it to call and play games and look for, some laughing, some shit on social media. But this is a computer right there in your hand.
That's right. That's right.
Anything you want access to, you got it right there.
In your hand.
Yeah. So it's not as if we don't got access to information. We might have short attention spans and want it in short little snippets and this, that, and the other. And our brains might be so fatigued where we hate to read and deal with it like that. But read. Pull out a book and read and see what it do to your mind. Even how it's different from watching a video quicker and stuff. And even though video is quicker, watch what happened to your mind when you read. And absorb it, and you have to think and you got to ponder. Watch how your mind will build and your mind will grow and will want more information. And will have a question, have a thirst for more. I remember the first time I read a book on my own, it was this book.
Malcolm X.
This motherfucker here, I'm young, I can't read what? Who's gonna read all of this? Why? How? I
Right.
had read in school, I had did something, but it was just an assignment. I had never did nothing on my own. I put this book up and could not put it down. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about what had happened 20 or 30 years, 20 years before me. And I'm going through the same problems. Why wasn't I told about this? That is education to me. This
And
is something
that's your
I
man
could
right
learn
there.
from. Yeah, but they was banning this kind of stuff back then.
Yeah.
Banning. They didn't want me to learn about that.
Right.
You know, so I don't want to take up too long. I just want to, again, he was on point all the way around. Key points: understanding alien identity. He and as he explained Christianity, the Abrahamic faith. That's not our identity. Connect with our culture. If you go into a foreign culture, you're gonna be miseducated. You're gonna start identifying with something that you are not. You're not being true to yourself. Black power, black love. I open up the floor.
Hey, let me just jump in real quick before somebody jump. So I'm sitting here thinking, man, I pray to this God, man, and the idea is, fuck, if you don't get an answer, just wait, right? Well, all the shit is passing by, you know, could do something about wait for the nigga, right? And so, but I can call my boys up, right? I can call my boys up right here. I can call the queens up. I get an answer real quick. And I got more action in the time that we got here on this earth, right? You know, you look at the quantums, right? The quantums, you know, all them, more of those vessels are filled, man. And I think, man, that's the heart weighing less than that feather, man. You know, not being fucking lazy, man. Not misappropriating, you know, your aim, you know. So, you know, sit and wait for Jesus. You know, give Jesus the credit. You can't take no goddamn credit, right? But I can't give my boys credit, right? Shit turned out well to me. You know what I mean? It turned out real well when I hit them up, right? Or when I contemplate, you know, RBG, you know. I think about Jamie. I think about Eric. I'll be teasing about Eric, man. Eric, man, because you keep it 1,000, man. I love that game. I love that game, man. So and then you know, I just get tickled, man. I get tickled about this shit, man. So I just wanted to throw that thought out there because it's still correlated with what Gerald was talking about. And when I'm so intrigued and honored to be a part of this with you cats, man, that when I put shit together from the first time we did it to now, what I'm looking for is what I'm sure of and more. And what intrigued you? Is there something that was brought to the table that you may not be new, but a different view, right? That's complementary and intriguing. And why I feel that way, and that feeling is honored, right? To provide something to you guys, man. You know, and then the audience, you know, you get what you get, right? You know, come on in and get one, right? So that's my aim, man. And that's like deep in my soul, man. And it's just I can feel the ripple effects in me, right? You know, I don't get that bullshit, you know, hair standing up on your arm type of shit, motherfucker, right? I'm talking about that ripple effect from inside, man, that, you know, can't be tainted, man. So yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm with Eric and Professor James Smalls. He always bring it, man. That's, you know, he's one of the few that's left, right? You know what I'm saying? The master teachers that's left, man. And you know, so you always gotta listen to any lecture they give, man. You gotta be front and center. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's history to me. They making history to me. I mean, that's just how I look at it, right? But you know, and I want to say this, man. This is why me and my wife was looking at that 1,500 acres. All you need is 15 people or 15 participants or 15 families. We do 30. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you did 15, that's 100 acres per family. If you did 30, that's 50 acres per family. Just imagine what
That's a guap. That's a guapa
hey,
shit.
hey, but just think about this. Your payments are maybe no more than $200 a month. I mean, how can you, how you know, with everybody, your payment would be about 200, if that, King. You know what I'm saying, a month, because and that's real, and I ain't exaggerating, King. Like what I'm saying is that's a small city, man, right? And that's 30 families or 30 participants. That's almost that's a nice 30 people. That's 30 families. That's a nice start on a community, right? In a community, right? Of 1,500 acres
And that's a
of
community
land.
that's a community that James Smalls came from too, that he was raised in. That type of community where people get that little guapa land, man. And me and Carrie know people that had 15. How many people did what's her name have? Trying to remember that lady's name. And we was driving down that damn country highway. She got all that damn land. 1,500, Carrie, I don't know.
Wow, man, like that's a lot of land, King.
Who was that up north, Carrie, that you was telling me about? Oh, I know who it was. With the people that we used to come down to Arizona to see. We came down to Arizona twice a year for a convention, and their parents had 1,500 acres of land, and I can't even conceive that amount of land, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Gary's son got like 300 acres of land, some shit like that, you know, or more. But I can't even conceive 15. And they was giving that shit away to certain people like flypaper. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I'm just saying, man, like just think about that though. Like we could literally own 1,500 acres. Like I said, King, that's like a small city. It's literally a small city, man. And like I said, if you got 30 people, that's 50 acres per family. That's 50 acres. That's a lot of land right there, King. That's a lot of land. 50 acres is a lot of land, King, for one family or whoever, you know what I mean? But just think about 50 acres for less than $200 a month, King. Where can you find it? You'll never better find that nowhere on earth. Nowhere. You'll never better find it. We get together, we put together 15, like I said, we could do it with 15, but 30 is cool, right? Families or participants get together, right? Get this land, put the money down, get this land, right? So I mean, and the land that I seen in this 1,500, there is literally lakes. There's literally like we fishing where there's rivers. I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's all kind of shit. It's the lake. It's like a river running into this lake, man. I mean, it's really, really, really cold, man. Like you can't.
Does it have mountains with runoffs?
It's got, man. Listen, man. This joint had uh waterfalls, King.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, because that's where you're gonna get the fresher water from, right?
It's coming off the top of the
Yeah.
mountains.
I don't care where you at, man. If you at the baseline and then they got big ass mountains, you getting the dirty water, right? So
right.
but it's still hella clean, right?
That's right, but it's still because it's still filtering.
Yeah, see, that's what we had in Idaho, man. Good Lord, dude, that shit was so motherfucking crunk, dude.
Like that's what I'm saying, King. Like this is what I've been thinking about, and I'm trying to put together. I know that we have quite a few people that's interested. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm interested. Was interested. Prince was interested. My mother, my sister, they're interested. Uh, um, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the lit king. You start, you build your, whatever you want on your on whatever you want on your shit. But it's I mean, you can't beat it, man. You put
That's
a
right.
hell of a out. You can put a hell of a hell of a farm down, man. You can put a nice huge ass garden. You put one garden. You put one of your when you put one part. You put a garden of fruits, and then you can put another part with just vegetables. Straight fruits. Straight vegetables, and one part with just straight up fruits. Everything, fruit trees. You know what I'm saying? Like all day long, man. For a quarter acre or something of fruit, just fruit trees and different fruits. You know what I'm saying? Where it'll sustain the whole community,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And people could do their thing on the side, whatever you want on the side. You got plenty of land.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? You could, and then you can, and it hadn't been logged, so you can get paid off the wood. You can get paid off the, once you have it logged, you can get paid off the wood, man. Especially if you got some good wood, the trees. You know what I'm saying? So like, you make money, man. The government give you all kind of love. If you want to mess with them, I wouldn't want to fuck with them. I just want to do this on my own. You know what I'm saying? And do this, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Do a little community endowment fund. You know what I'm saying? Where where we can keep on building on it, man. Have gas, you know what I'm saying? Like eventually have your own markets, gas station, whatever you need, man. Like for real.
Yeah,
Like, but people ain't thinking like that, man. But
yeah.
this is what I'm looking at. I'm thinking about. I've been looking, literally looking. I done seen the land. I done seen the properties. I done seen them. I done seen them in North
Me,
Carolina,
hey,
and I've seen them in Tennessee.
me and Carrie go country like a motherfucker. Bet that.
Yeah, man. What you gonna do, man? Listen, man. They got these cold joints. I got these container houses that they building. You get containers. A grand, two grand. You stack them up to, or however you want to, man, and it's make you a whole house, man. A cold ass house. You make a damn mansion out of them damn containers, King. However you want to. You can add on every 2-3 months. Just add your motherfucking a whole room, a whole, you know what I mean? A whole.
No shit. No shit. A
I'm
whole
just
court.
saying, man. Like
Yeah.
it's endless, King. Like you could do whatever you want out there, man. Like whatever you want, man. Like it's solar panels. Everybody got to work. The community endowment fund. So we get the solar panels. Everybody has solar, so we ain't got to rely on nobody's nothing. Get your solar panels going, man. You know what I'm saying? Dig your well, get your well going and all that shit, man. Listen, man. Look, all I'm saying is Professor James Smalls is on, and Eric said the same thing. You got to put some seeds in the ground. You got to get some land. You got to get some clothing and some shelter. You know what I'm saying? And you got to better provide that on your own. You can't have to. You don't want to be relying on, Mr. Charlie.
Yeah.
You feel me? So this is what I'm saying. You get your own, be self-sufficient, you know what I'm saying, and be able to protect what we got, because you trust me, believe they're gonna want that. Trust and believe they're gonna want that. So you're gonna have to better, protect what the fuck we build out there, man. And it could be endless. You know what I'm saying? It could be endless, man. You said your brother said that we responsible for $3 trillion a year, man. Trillion. And why we can't come together, man? A bunch of families or a bunch of brothers and sisters come together, man, and put some money together and go buy chunks of land and get your own. This our shit. This our community. This our rules. You know what I'm saying? Don't come over here. We don't need you coming over here for nothing. We don't need you for nothing, right? Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, and then they got this brick shit going on. You think I'm playing, man? They're lining up over in Hawaii, man. Y'all ain't paying attention.
Hey, and they just invited Africa to the G20. What's the last word on that motherfucker?
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man. They slipped that in. They said, "Oh shit, them motherfuckers gaining some traction. Let us grip up on them motherfuckers too." Now they in with two motherfuckers.
All I'm saying is, man, pay attention, King, because these people is not playing. They is not playing, King. Like look, all I'm saying, man, is pay attention, man. Please pay attention. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Just show y'all I ain't playing. Y'all see that right there, right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all watch this one.
Naval operation. The U.S. Navy responded quickly by sending 4 destroyers to guide the Chinese and Russian ships away from American waters. Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan told Fox News Digital it just solidifies this idea that we've entered a new era of authoritarian aggression led by the dictators in Beijing and Moscow who are increasingly aggressive.
Jake Beckett is a U.S. Army veteran and host of the Jake Beckett podcast and joins us now. Jake, good morning to you. In terms of gravity of this situation, Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan said that it is unprecedented to have Russia and China working together in this act of aggression against the United States. So why is this happening now, and how does the United States respond?
Well, I think Senator Sullivan is absolutely correct. This is a very dangerous situation, and I've said since the beginning of the war in Eastern Europe between Ukraine and Russia, the real danger of what the Biden administration is blundering us towards is a closer union between the two great powers of the Eurasian landmass, which are Russia and China. It's really the one thing that we can't allow to happen in terms of larger geopolitics. But of course, that's exactly what Biden and his handlers have allowed to happen, not just militarily and geopolitically, but also financially, as we have removed Russia from certain trading relationships and currency protections, and that's drawn them closer into the clutches of China. So I think this joint
naval operation. The U.S. Navy responded quickly by sending 4 destroyers to guide the Chinese and Russian ships away from American waters. Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan told Fox News Digital it just solidifies this idea that we've entered a new era of authoritarian aggression led by the dictators in Beijing and Moscow who are increasingly aggressive.
Jake Beckett is a U.S. Army veteran and host of the Jake Beckett podcast and joins us now. Jake, good morning to you. In terms of gravity of this situation, Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan.
Hey, so we got one thing is for sure, right? You gotta be careful of Fox News shit. They're gonna shit on anybody, right?
I'm not
saying that. I'm not saying it's bad news. It's a bad report. I'm just saying they're gonna shit extra on anybody, right?
Yeah. My focus was
across,
focus was just what who's lining up, what the lineup.
That
was the focus. I mean, I don't care about the commentary. I'm just talking about what's going on. You see that China and Russia, they lining up over there, man, and y'all and people ain't paying attention.
Without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't paying attention what's going on.
Who's not paying attention?
A lot of people ain't paying attention, man.
It's all over the place.
Huh?
It's all over the place. It's all over the news.
But they ain't taking. They must not be taking it serious, man. Because
what are you prepared to do?
Who? Me? I mean, listen, man. It ain't a whole lot you can do, man. Especially it ain't a whole lot you can do, right? But what I'm saying is this, man. Like you. I mean, like Juro, I'm sure you know. Yeah, I know you know the rules of engagement. You know what I'm saying? So I think the major cities will be the first ones hit. Your water and your electricity be the first things going. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fuck with your food supply, your water supply, and your electricity.
Medical.
Right. And so I'm just saying, and I think the major cities, a lot of the is targets, right? So no, it ain't a whole lot you can do, King, but maybe. You might, you might, you might, you might get slip through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the right spots.
Well, like you said, we know how to do something. If we got some skills, planting food, like you said, making clothes, raising some gangster ass dogs for protection, raising dogs to help you hunt, stuff like that. Building shelter. We need to build on those skills that we got, and build on the resources you got amongst the people you're dealing with, and see, what you can do with what you got.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, like I said, a few of us gonna slip through the cracks. I want to be the few. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. And so, I don't want to be caught off guard. I don't want to be blindsided. You know what I'm saying? I want to, so this is why I'm saying 1,500 acres up in the mountains, King. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't saying that we're 100% safe, but I think that it's a little bit safer than sitting in the middle of a city, especially a major city, especially, and they got all these the military up, stations and shit all around these spots. Like I said, you got to maintain your own water source. You got to get your own. If you're gonna mess with electricity, you got to get your solar panels together, man. I mean, you. This is my point. This is my own. This is my point. What else you gonna do? Just sit back and just wait for it to happen. And
if the people, we want to prepare people. If we gotta try to give them a clear picture, or some kind of picture of the that's going to take place, or the that we're waiting for, so to prepare for it. Now, if we're preparing for a food shortage, which we hear talking about now, food and water shortages, well, yeah, we should be having the discussion about where does our fresh water come from and what we're going to do about the soil that we got to plant food in. We got to talk about, the richness of the soil, how many nutrients are in the soil, and what the soil needs in order to produce food. So again, I just think that we need to educate ourselves with what can we do if something is going to jump off. Where are we going to plan to go? Is there a place to go? Is there a place? And then, like I said, what would be the plan? Shelter, food, security, people. You're going to need people to help. With 5 acres of land, you definitely would need some hands to help you deal with that. As we know, and we know, just coming from brothers, meeting brothers, and doing some urban gardening and urban farming myself, you can do a lot with a small plot of dirt. You can have a nice farm that actually each part of the farm feeds off each other. So you can on 3 acres, you can have horticulture, aquaculture, then you can use nutrients from your pond to feed your plants. But again, if we got it tomorrow and no one had the knowledge of what the fuck to do with the stuff, you would be going to ask the same guy you bought it from, hey man, can I get you to come back over here and help me with your tools and with your machinery, or help me do this? So I think that we need to talk about what goes into having that piece of dirt and what it takes in turning that dirt over, and how, what region you're in, what you can plant, and all that stuff. And we need to be educated on certain parts of the United States and different growing regions, which you are going to never grow certain foods. Certain foods not going to do well in certain regions. So if we start networking with people who living in certain regions who even got goddamn a backyard, they want to turn 100 or maybe 50 by 50 square feet of property into growing some beets. That area could grow beets in the right location. You might be able to harvest have two beet harvests. Well, beets are a superfood. You got somebody else who can do some greens. And really, if you're doing collards, hell, it don't take collards a lot of, but you do need some space, but you can grow collards, especially not at certain regions, till the first frost. So if we can we can look at folks who already got small plots, already got access to small plots, and start seeing what they're willing to do. Because it takes machinery, it takes tools, and it takes knowledge.
But see now, I get it. You're right, and you're 100% absolutely correct. And man, you hit it on the head, right? See, but that's the easy part, right? Because listen, man, we got the homeboy Reds. We got a homeboy named Reds, right? That's doing it right now as we speak, King. He's doing it right now as we speak, man. The brother's off grid, right? He's literally off grid though. This brother, you know, he intense. This how he, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he choose. But the brother, I think what he say? How much he got? He got a bunch of acres, man.
Yeah,
He got a bunch of acres, man, and he done had it logged. He done got paid off the logs. He done I guess he done got into some of the grants that the government give for certain things that you do on your land. You know what I'm saying? So they, you know, so he, you know, so I'm just saying, like, there's plenty of ways to get what we need, Kings. You know, if we need to go and get on some of these grants, you know what I'm saying? By, you know, because they got a grant. If you put a cow on your land, they got a grant for you. They got something for you. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I mean, you know, it's, you know, if you gonna do agriculture, they got a grant for you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put some farm animals, they got a grant for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is what I'm saying, King. Like, I don't think that we'll have an issue with that. I really don't. I think the issue we'll have is finding the people. That's gonna be the issue, is finding the people, man.
I know.
Right. Because I mean, like I
Yeah,
said,
I'm over 20 years in this thing, and yeah, it's always been brothers want to, man, we should do it, we should do that. We get to start having meetings about putting some plans together. Never fails. But but you meet people once you start surrounding yourself around folks who are already doing it. I met some interesting people, brothers from Detroit, some sisters out of Detroit, who were people out of Chicago who came to Battle Creek for an urban farming workshop. Very, very interesting. But they all report the same shit in their areas. They can't get enough of their own people to support the shit. And they end up having to, in some cases, if they're lucky, and they live in an area where there are Hispanic people, or youngsters, or teenage kids, they can sometimes get them to come help work in the urban farms, harvest time and stuff like that, early spring and stuff like that. But it's the same thing. People aren't motivated to have their own shit. A lot of people are really, really satisfied and complacent with going to Walmart and being like the you know, the basic, the what they call the basic necessities, but those aren't necessities, those are wants. But they like the comfort of those things. So the struggle is getting people committed to understanding the calendar, when it's going to be time to plant. And we got to, when it's time to get out there in the dirt, man, everything else got to be put aside. Because you only got a set amount of time before you need to get the soil ready, and then put the seeds in the ground.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right. You're right.
We gotta do something. So those are issues. Those are real issues you really got to look at. Because, like, again, you will be sitting on a whole lot of land and needing either to sell some to make the other part work, or putting out a lot of money to get the motherfucker up and running, because it's going to take bodies and like-minded people to do it. And you can take practice. All I'm saying is that if people start with their own areas, practice with your own garden. Make a little garden at home. Plant a goddamn plant in the house, a tomato plant, just something, so you can get into the practice of this soil, man. Understanding this shit. Because it's bigger than what we really see. Because Because this is a collective thing that has to happen in order for it to work.
Right.
Because if not, if you planting over there and next door neighbors ain't planting shit, he's sitting over there looking through the fence waiting till your shit grow, man. Unless you teaching them how to be a part of this. And get them out in the dirt and teach them how to get in the dirt too. But there again, we have to understand and learn as much as we can about that dirt and what to put in it, what time to put in there, and how many times a year we can do that. Because in some parts of the U.S., hell, you got 2 grow seasons. Right. And you got a lot of folks who live in food deserts, who we can be producing food for to help some of those places. But it takes people. And it's always these jokers from these Ivy League communities and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, we just started up a nonprofit. We bought a van. We started going and get people to do so and so. And they can get people motivated and people be just all amped up about that. We could be doing the same thing. Everybody, each one of us probably come from a community that there's some dilapidated buildings or somewhere we didn't come. Either a house has been torn down, there's an open lot that either could be used to plant something, a little garden that I know in my hood, for the longest time, that's where the beer bottles and the beer bottles and the Ricky Red, the rose bottles and shit went. That's what they threw them at. You know what I mean? That's when they went to go piss up against the tree in them vacant lots. But look, seeing now, look, being old and understanding this now, that was potential. That was potential for a plot of land for food source. And, you know, and I think we talked about this before, but when you start spreading seeds, physical seeds for food, you begin to change the condition of a people. When people are able to feed themselves, you got time to do something else now. Promote something else going on in your life. But being able to feed yourself and understand where food comes from, you're talking about understanding God and nature and creation. That's it right there. You see God in motion right there. Wow, look, at some point, that was fucking basic. Every man, every woman knew how to put a goddamn seed in the ground, knew how far to put it in the soil, watch that son bitch grow. It was imperative that you knew that.
Right.
Shit, we don't know all this shit now. But we don't mind going to spend that money buying it from somebody else who do know it. We'll go buy some damn beet powder and mix it into something we take it and say, God damn, this is some good shit. And damn well, you can be planting the same goddamn beets in your backyard and making your own goddamn beet powder and beet tablets to serve to not only yourself, but to your family members, and then market the shit if you wanted to. But again, it takes information, knowledge, and then, goddamn it, people to work with a common goal, And that's the struggle, I believe, too, just having folks on the common and committed with confidence, committed, knowing that this shit gonna work. Yeah, but you get it's hard getting that because motherfuckers got it easy, man. And it's too easy to say, shit, I'm gonna push this clock. Or I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. I ain't gonna worry about that this week. I'm good this week.
But see, what I was hoping is bricks and this shit, the threat of a World War III would maybe be a little more motivation, right? You know, because like I mean, it looks like this one right here, it just may be a little real close, if not right here on U.S. soil. Is what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, you know, you're right. Getting the people together is going to be the challenge. But we got a lot of people that's thinking along the same lines, King. And as far as the know-how, I mean, everybody got a skill. Everybody got a skill.
But you get like anything else, whatever skill you got, you better be practicing it. So when it's time to utilize it, you know what to do.
Yeah. I'm good at a lot of things when it comes to
be living by this river and fishing will be what we need to do. But you said, oh man, I ain't fished since I was 14. Well, goddamn, you skill man, you got to get that skill level up because we got to eat now.
Right.
Right. By the river, it's gonna be time to eat.
Right, and I get it, and I'm gonna get good real quick, right? I'm gonna get good real quick. I'm just saying, I'm gonna get good real quick. But what I'm saying is this, you know, I know how to do it though. I mean, it ain't that I don't know how to do it. It just ain't been there in a minute, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I know how to do a whole lot of things. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to building and
That's what we're gonna need. That's what we're gonna need.
and I mean, I know how to do quite a few things, man, as far as that's concerned, man. Uh, and I'm sure that everybody got a skill, man. I mean, I even know how to do a little gardening, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I even know how to do a little gardening too. You know what I'm saying? So
Our children where food comes from.
I know how to sew a little bit. I can sew. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know how to do quite a few things, man, different things, right? It's what I'm saying, but I'm just saying, King, this is just my thought. I got quite a few people that is on board. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to get some more. Now, if I can't get enough, that's fine because I've also seen some other properties that me and my wife can just afford too. You know what I'm saying? That has a lot of acreage. I'm talking about like 42 acres. You know what I'm saying? I seen one that had 42 acres. You know what I'm saying? Well, I could do quite a bit with that. You know what I mean? It had a river going through it and some creeks. I mean, yeah, creeks going through it.
Hey, that's some good shit. But I'm gonna get off for a minute, man.
All
I
right,
gotta go take care of a few things and that's some real interesting shit though, man. All of it, the whole thing, man. So, once again, man, it's boots on the ground, man. There ain't no new ideas, it's boots on the ground and organization and shit like that. So, Jamie, you can take care of this, man. I'm gonna go in
Hey,
and
well, I mean, we can just go ahead and close out, man, because it was,
I'm gonna say one thing before we get off there, because I'm about to get off too.
Okay.
The mindset got to be natural disaster. Okay, it's a we all one day away from a natural disaster coming into our area. We losing power, we losing everything. What you and your family finna do right then?
That's the question.
Right.
So that's the same thing as the World War thing, as you're saying, whether it's national, global, or whatever. Within my organization, that's how we teach. You better be prepared. You see all these storms, you see everybody else, you think that shit can't happen to us? So when the shit hit, you and your family, my comrades, y'all better be ready. It might go have to come where the comrades have to come in and save you or whatever going on. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be prepared to hold it off for at least 3 or 4 days without going to the government. We ain't talking about just going to them. That's what we don't do. Because we self-dependent. We want to be able to say, okay, this the storm. We finna go through this goddamn storm. I'm prepared for it. If you got another comrade in your city with you, that's another safe place that you can go to if something done this, if your place flooded, blah, 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 be able to know that it's, and that, as James Smalls was saying, we don't really have a community like that. If you really had a community, it'll be you can go to I don't know my neighbors like that. My neighbors don't know me like that. If it just get real bad, yeah, they can come in, boom, 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 but really we don't know each other like we supposed to. That's gotten away from us. But I know my comrades and boom, boom, boom. I can go there and I can get me and my uncle can get over here. We safe, we good. Blah, blah, blah. The comrades know I got enough water, food, this, that, and other. I got to generate whatever not to run to the man so fast for no bad guy. Now eventually it could go that. Why? The shit done got too bad. Shit, I gotta go. I gotta go turn myself in the FEMA, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we understand that right from the beginning, we should be prepared enough that we don't have to go running and crying because our electricity off or nothing like that. We prepared.
Right.
Yeah, back in Michigan growing up, boy, we run a line across the street if we have to.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, man, like my wife, we was talking about this yesterday. Hey, I no shit. We was talking about this yesterday. I told her what we need to do is we need to go through. They got these sites. They got all this survival and tactical gear, right? And I told her that what we need to do is go through. We need to order us some tactical gear and some fallout shelter type survival kits, and have a bag. I'm gonna have a bag in my room and a bag in the boys' room. They're gonna have they're gonna have a bag apiece. I'm gonna have a bag and you gonna have a bag, and all we do is just grab the bag and go. We ain't gotta be
Yeah,
looking for
jump
shit.
kit.
You ain't
Yeah,
gotta
that's
be
your
looking for
jump
shit.
bag.
Yeah, you ain't gotta be looking for shit, grabbing shit. Just grab the bag and go.
Exactly. Gotta have that. Again, this when you're dealing with them, the enemy, they got all this. They got food, they got underground shelters. They don't just talk about this here. They are prepared for this. On your idea, which is outstanding. It ain't gonna work because it's not tough enough. As Eric was saying, we got it too good. We got to be put into that disaster. We got to really get all our shit tore up, and we got to do that and start over. Then it'll happen. But as long as people can go somewhere and got this here, they're not gonna do that. You can have all that. What I'm telling you, as crazy as this sounds, Jamie, you could buy all that yourself and say, people come just live here, and black people ain't finna come do it.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought it yourself
Yeah.
and it's already, they gonna still look at it funny. There's some about us like that. With me in the organization that I am, and we give out free clothes. Shit, our black people act like they can't accept free clothes. The Mexicans come get all the goddamn shit.
But what I'm saying is this. But see, when they shit sitting up there flat, and they, you know what I'm saying, they house gone, or it's up underwater or something. Now you're gonna be wanting to come to the land.
They quick to go to FEMA. They still ain't gonna go to you. They gonna go want FEMA to give them some shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We crazy like that. They gonna want a FEMA house that's polluting them and killing them, and they're gonna, I'm trying to tell you, we gonna go to the government, not to no other black people. It's only a certain amount of us think like that. Other than that, we go to the government.
I think we can
some
get
money.
15. I think we can get 15 people, man.
Hey Gerald, was you in Houston when the hurricane hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I done, my house done got fucking shit. I done been living upstairs at one time because my whole basement, my whole downstairs was wet. Yeah. I got depressed because it fucked up a lot of my historical books and shit. A lot of my books got flooded, and a lot of my black historical stuff got ruined, and that shit depressed me. Yeah, so been through it, done been out helping people when it all go down. Yeah, that's just who I am. That's what I'm about.
I couldn't imagine that, man. I couldn't imagine being I've been in the aftermath, the wake and the aftermath of a hurricane, but never, the onslaught of it, man. And I've been there, afterwards, all that kind of shit, man. But I can't imagine that, man. Then, like, I got books back in Idaho still, man. And out of everything that's back there, I got some books and some African artifacts that Carrie got from me. Fuck everything else. And there's some good shit back there, right? And so when you talk about your books, man, right there, and you got them right there and got to do something else with them, fuck. Let alone the rest of the travesty, man. And, how ready are people, I'm ready with some artillery, some cash, and some wheels, right? And some food, clothing, right? I can get the fuck on down, man, higher ground or wherever, right? I'm good and ready for that shit, right?
And like I said, you gotta have protection. You're gonna have to have protection.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
So it's a lot, it's a lot to go to it, but I'm just saying, I think we can get 15 people. I think we can get 10 people. I think we get 10 people. 10 people, we can do 1,000 acres with 10 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of motherfucking. I'm gonna have to hire. I'm gonna have to bring me some motherfuckers, man, because there's a lot of tilling the land, boy. But still, me and Carrie, I'm telling you, Carrie just walked in here, and that's what the fuck she hyped about, right? That shit right there, right?
I'm
Hey, I'm
telling
gonna
you,
jump
King,
off
like
though,
that's
man. I got to get off and go take care of this business.
all right,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, we finna close it up, man. Hey, so
Hey,
let's
I wanted to add something though. You
for
know,
sure.
uh, some of my distant family, were all Quakers, and about 60 plus years ago, they bought all this land in Oregon and they built shelters. There's like 20 of them, 20 couples or, families. And they built these shelters. But what they did was, first thing was they built this huge garden. And the people that knew how to garden, they worked on it. And then they had people that knew how to can all that stuff, or, freeze it, or do whatever they needed to do to preserve it. And then it had a lake on it. And um, uh, my grandmother taught them how to swim, and taught them Latin. And I mean, everybody had a gift, and they were so good about sharing their gifts, and they worked together doing that. They weren't in a disaster situation, but they were certainly self-sufficient. And as they grew older, they realized they needed something, a place. They built a building for those that got really sick and needed care. And some of those people that had joined that group were nurses and doctors, and they took care of them. And I don't know, it's a pretty cool thing. I was there once only, and I was just in awe. But they had, I mean, I once had an acre of garden, and I was overwhelmed. They had acres and acres and acres of gardens and fruit trees. And shoot, I'm happy that we have a moringa tree, the tree of life, right here, that cleanses the water. And I mean, that's it makes me feel comforted to know that if we had no water, you can clean that water with the moringa flowers and things. And eat the leaves. And we season a lot of our food with moringa, and it's really healthy. So anyway, there's a lot of different things you can do. And I really like this concept of being self-sufficient and not having to ask the government for anything, and on and on, because that's just a big loophole that you get caught up in, and they just screw you over every time. But anyway, just wanted to add that. But love you guys. Thanks for this great presentation.
For sure,
Awesome.
man.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Hey, and like I said, man, like I think we can get 10 people, man. I mean, we got Eric. I know you with it. You with it, Eric? You want to get in on the on acreage, man?
I'm already sitting on 10. I got 10 here in Michigan.
Okay.
And look, we got some property in Texas. We jumped between me and my brother from my dad. So I'm in a dilemma right now, needing hands. I got the dirt, baby.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Hey, Gerald, what about you, man? I know you probably set too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm set right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I got a house. I mean, I'm in a house, and I'm set too. But shit, this ain't gonna make it. This ain't gonna make it. This ain't gonna make it. This ain't gonna make it, man. When they come, you know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers, shit, nah, this ain't gonna make it, man. Motherfucker gonna have to go. Motherfucker gonna get up out of the cities, man. Motherfucker gotta get up out of the cities, man. You gotta get up out of the cities. It ain't gonna be done here. You trying to stay up in the house, it ain't gonna be shit there. Ain't gonna be no electricity, ain't gonna be no air, ain't gonna be nothing. You gonna be sitting up in the house. You gotta get up out of there. Like you gotta eat. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't just like you was when I first came back from overseas, and had this concept when I was telling you I was coming back teaching the people and whatnot. That was my first concept. I wanted to buy land and get a gated community. And within that gated community, it was only It was only us. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? There wasn't no anybody could come in our gated community. It was ours. And within that gated community, we would have very close by everything that we needed from our barbershops, beauty shop, everything that we needed. Like I said, with that land concept that you're talking about, you got to be, that's you feeding everybody with that. If you got that much acres, just like America, America was when they had all of the slaves, shit, we was producers. Yeah, we produced cotton, we produced tobacco. Yeah, they needed us to put. We was a producing nation. Now we are a consuming nation. So we are more into the consuming mindset, even as people. But back then, we all were producers. That's why people went out and did those things. It naturally was something that you did. You as a slave, you formed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then later we ran from it. We ran from the plantations. That's what that whole education. We didn't think we want to work hard no more, and we didn't want that. If you get an education, you ain't have to work hard and yada yada. That was now you always still gonna have to work hard. Fuck that.
Always.
If not, you're gonna be a consumer because somebody else gonna be doing the work, and then you're a slave to them. When they want to raise the prices or any shortage or any natural disaster, your ass in trouble. Sometimes they're going to tell you your money ain't good. I don't care how much money you got. Your money ain't no good here. So going back to, as we saying, you talking right. Getting do for self. As Eric was saying, somebody do one thing, you do something else, and we barter with each other. We ain't even got to pull our money no more.
Right.
We should, whatever's mine is yours. You give me some of this for that. Boom, 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 this, that. Everybody produce something. Everybody got something that they can do.
Yeah.
You know
We ain't got, everybody got to buy nothing.
Right. And then what we have from a surplus, we sell to others.
That's right.
That's when we make the money after a surplus. We all got what we need. Now, what we got over, we sell to other people who need it.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's where the money came in, from the surplus, And if anybody know that even a small garden, you do a little small garden, you're going to have too fucking much.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give that shit away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Anybody know? Yeah. Even a little one in your little yard for yourself, you end up having to give it to the neighbors or something. Somebody. Yeah, it's going to always give a little too much.
Well, see, that also teaches a lesson too about giving when you planting food, and that's one of the most sacred things you can do is plant food and pass food to somebody else. Man, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Oh, which as you doing? If me and us was together, right?
Huh?
And we eating, and you saying, and I'm telling you, we eating this food from our garden.
Yeah.
We eating this food from something that I produce.
That we eat it together, or I'm sharing it with you.
Yes, that's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yes, sir.
We get that from even when our parents used to cook and share things with others. Even just that cooking and putting their ingredients in. I got a pie for me, but I'm gonna cook one for the neighbor.
Yeah.
You as the child want that motherfucking pie yourself. Like, what the fuck? You gonna get it? Yeah, we finna share.
Yeah. Yeah.
We finna share. We ain't finna be selfish. We
That
got a
was
surplus.
That's right.
And
That
hopefully
was
when somebody
symbolic.
else got surplus, they gonna share with me.
That was symbolic of passing on life to your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know I got 1, 2, I got 4, I got 5 people right now. I know I got 5 for sure. I got 5 for sure, man.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I mean? And I know that 5 more, we can get 1,000 acres, man. That's 100 acres per person.
You can do it. You can do it. But what you gonna do once you got it?
That's a lot of acres you talking about, brother. That's a lot of acres.
I know it, man. I know it. I know it. But I mean, I'm talking about that. You talking about 10 families.
Well, even in that mindset, some of them acres right at the beginning is got to just be setting up for the central town. The central market don't need that many acres. It can grow bigger, but just like if you back in the day, if you went to a little place, well, a little community, they had their little old certain shop here, certain shop. That was the central main street.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people can live off where they want to, but you're going to have that little part to where, and it build from there. You'll keep hearing me saying natural disaster because I'm saying people got to lose it all before they want to rebuild themselves.
Right.
And I know that sounds crazy, but
then
that's
you
the
got
kind of way it is.
but you do have the people that's on the same mind frame. Like, listen, yeah, we need to get this shit. We need to get.
That's true.
We need to get.
They got their own. They got their own, Jamie. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah,
stay in that mindset.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it, brother.
I'm gonna tell you.
They already doing it.
I'm saying I know I got 5 people that's with it right now, right? So I'm just saying I know that there's 5 more out there somewhere. You feel me? Right.
And I'm not against you. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not against you. I'm just telling you how it goes.
And if it ain't, hey, we can go 500 acres for 5 people, or we can go 200. We go 200 acres, 5 people. That's still enough acreage to do plenty with, man. And the payments is gonna be cheap. I tell you, for instance, it was 42 acres for 180 grand. The estimated payment was $1,264 a month for 42 acres.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's like a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom. I told my wife, fuck that. We're gonna buy a motherfucking RV, pull that motherfucker up out there, and we're gonna live right there in the RV while we work this goddamn land. You know what I'm saying?
That's the key. Make that land, make that money back. Make the money
this
back off the
motherfucking
land.
You damn right.
Yeah.
Because
That's
like
the
I
key
know
is.
people that'll buy a chunk of it just to plant their corn. You know what I'm saying? They won't buy it, they'll rent it. They'll rent it out from you. I just seen that. A lot of cats rent out a plot and plant a bunch of corn for their cattle and livestock. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's there's a lot of ways to make money off that land. A whole lot of ways to make money off that land, man. So I don't think that would be the issue. The issue would be like Eric said, the equipment to work the land like you want to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It's you got one way with that much land you can do so much anything. Let's say the last time I was getting into it, I was talking with some brothers. I don't know where they was at, but I know where it was at, marijuana was becoming legal there. So that was their whole thing,
Yeah.
Growing the marijuana, which is the highest class. If you're dealing with crop, you get the most money from that crop. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't enough black people into that part of their business yet. And it was supposed to, open up in this, so there's people thinking about it, there's people about doing it. It's like I say, that was for a whole different context. That was simply to make, to make money off the land,
Damn, man,
if you got 5, move with that 5. Don't try to, that would be my idea, Trying to get 10 might take a 2, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you got 5, shit, move with that 5.
I would say the same thing. You got 5, man, move with it.
Yeah, because that's a lot right there. I promise you.
You blessed to have 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 5, man. I got 5 for sure ones. It's just, shit. I'm trying to get it to where we can get a motherfucking, like I said, a small city.
You gotta start, so you gotta crawl before you walk, brother.
Yeah.
I want a small motherfucking city, baby. Hey, but
Right.
yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. We're gonna close it out, man. Hey,
All right.
Gerald, you want to close out right quick?
Man, it's been under the pleasure being on here like it has been every Sunday. Got to listen to 2 presentations, one dealing with as we know, they taking out our Black history. We can get into a thing to where we can complain about it or we can do something. The educator also told us first thing you do is educate yourself, then become a teacher. Put it in the application. The second one was James Miles, one of our great mentors, one of our great educators, basically telling us about what education and miseducation is. Education is something that's going to give you the tools to grow, to build something. It ain't just talk. It's going to give you skills to be able to produce something. Miseducation is dealing with some type of alien identity or connected with something that's not you. And most time you'll know you're not educated because you don't know how to solve your goddamn problems. You don't know how to solve your problems. You start looking to somebody else to solve your problem. So those are the basic points that I got. I was happy to be on here with the panel, Brother Eric, Brother Jeremy, and also left, and also Carrie before she left. Good discussion. Willing to do it back again. That's how you do it. Even though sometimes you might not want to, you set a date, you keep showing application over and over and over again. So happy to be here. Black Power, Black Love. I yield the floor.
Peace. Hey, Eric, you want to close out, King?
All right. Once again, thanks again for having me. I'm always honored to rap amongst you brothers, Brother Gerald, Brother Jetty. Carrie always being there and sharing. So it's always a pleasure. Like I say, Dr. Smalls, great teacher, clear, concise form. He laid the information out. And one of the main things I took from what he said was erase your racism, your racist. Kill the races in you first. And in order to, in order to do that is through education. Goddamn, I don't know what else to say. Everybody said the same thing. You got to get the information. You can watch a video, yes. You need some material. You need to read it. Like Gerald said, that was so beautiful how you put it. It does something to your mind. It opens up a part of your brain that would not even open up if it wasn't for reading and seeing words written down, that you can look at those words over and over again to get a clear picture of what you're reading. That's why reading is so important. And speaking of that, he also mentioned something about not knowing how racism has affected you, and not knowing how the concept of supremacy has affected you. So learn those things. And I got another book. I also like to share books that I'm currently reading or purchased, but here's another one. This is an interesting book. Michael Bradley's the author.
Oh man, the Iceman Inheritance.
Yeah. So he gives his idea of how he believes some of this stuff evolves. The person's thinking has to deal with his environment and some psychosexual things going on. But interesting read, just to kind of give you an idea of how environment can and will shape your mind. So that's why it's so important for us to stay connected to our nature, to the natural world, get outside, take your shoes off, your feet barefoot, they say, get grounded. Sometimes get outside so we don't forget the importance of nature, because what he talks about is that being isolated in an area that was void of a lot of nature, your soul and your spirit can't grow. So if you look at some of the characteristics, some of these folks we talk about a lot. Study the history of them folks, and you will see the behavior. You'll understand the moves they made and why they made them. And once you unlock those keys, you ain't got to focus no more on them. Now it's time to strategize, brother. Now it's time to strategize. So I close with that and saying, keep studying, keep focused on the power that we have from within. Know thyself.
Know thyself.
That's it.
Well
Right,
said,
that's
brother
right.
Eric. Well said.
That's
Thank
right,
you.
man. Love that, man. That was profound. All right, family. This is the end. We finna close out. I mean, we finna close it up. Please like and subscribe, share, and give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Um, Again, fam, know your history. Like Eric said, know thyself. When I say history, I mean the real, true history, not his story, right? So, family, come on, man. Let's wake up. Let's get the kids. Let's get this. And let's keep our history where it's supposed to be. Like Gerald said, it ain't no history without Black history, man. Ain't no history. We the only we the only history they got. That's it. If we ain't in it, ain't no damn history. I'm just letting you know that flat out. So
African history is world history, brother.
that's right. That's right. And so what we need to do, man, is we got to make sure that that world history is taught correctly, right? And damn sure wasn't beneficial to nobody but the slave masters. Okay, that's the only people that benefited from slave masters and the country in which they was residing in. All right, that's the only benefit that happened out of slavery. But as far as the slaves, no, no, because you didn't take slaves. You took doctors. You took philosophers. You took some really prominent people. All right, hey, anyway, family, like and subscribe. Like I said, share and comment.